What is going on, everybody? We have another show, another night. So, let me ask you a question. Do you guys know your differences between Marvel and DC? Does anybody know? Because I do. Oh, well, again, I am kind of a little bit of a geek. Kind of grew up with this shit. Before we get into it, let me get the marketing out of the way. The mumbo jumbo is very simple. If you're on Facebook or YouTube, please hit the like, share, and subscribe. Or else, I'm going to send the wise man after you guys. The evil, creepy wise man. Let's get him in here. Wise man, wake up.
We up.
You look like you're sleeping
How's
already.
everybody doing? Nah, we ain't sleep. We good. How's everybody doing? What you up to?
No, I'm ready to talk about this. Are you ready to talk about this? That is the question of the night.
I think so. I think I'm gonna hang with you tonight on this here. Let's talk.
All right. What? Let me before we get into the questionnaires and all my answers and stuff like that. Let me ask you a question. What do you remember from Marvel and DC? Your first finest memory.
First fondest memory. I don't even want to say the year, but I remember watching. They used to have the little cartoons with the Hulk, Superman. They used to come on TV, and it was like little. It was almost like, you know how you used to take the cards and you flick them. That's how it used to be. Like if they were strolling real slow, like if you was flicking a deck of cards and it used to come on TV. That was it for me. It was used to just come on Superman, Spider-Man, Hulk.
Okay. So my finest memory, believe it or not, is probably the first memory was X-Men and Spider-Man. The 1997 series, I think it was.
Ooh.
I'm talking about while back.
I can go back further than that. It was Spider-Man, whatever that spider can't. Yo, it was an old cartoon. I think that was 19. That had to have been early 80s.
The first Spider-Man. I can look at it right now. Hang on a second.
I don't think it was the first Spider-Man, but I'm talking about that. Let me look it up. I think that was like the early 80s, late 70s when that was coming on.
It could be because that's going back.
Yeah, I'm going back with that one, and used to sit down in front of the TV and watch that, and you just knew you was watching something.
All right. Before we get too far ahead, we have a guest in the chat. You know who I'm talking about, right, dude?
Who we got?
Before I put her thing up, she is our unofficial, official cheerleader. But today's a special day for her. Do you know what day that is for her, dude?
What is it?
The big B day.
B-Day.
Yeah.
Get out of town. Well, happy birthday. Is that what we're talking about?
Yes.
Happy birthday. All right.
I think, I'm going to wait for an embarrassment a little later and we'll get more people. I'm going to do the whole happy birthday embarrassing thing in a little bit because I got some stories to tell about her in a little bit.
Oh, Lord.
Batman and Robin is actually a good one. So, the Spider-Man, let's look up that up because I didn't get a chance. And you're welcome, but don't thank me now. Thank me in a little bit. Just wait.
Where's the cake? Where's the cupcake? No cupcakes. No.
Yeah, that's right. You're the baker. She's the baker.
Oh, she's a baker. Well, she can't bake her own cake now. Or
she can.
Cookies or cupcakes.
I don't give a shit. She can bake her own, bring it over to us, and we can eat it, and she can leave. Very simple.
Man, what a birthday.
Okay, so we're looking for Spider-Man, right?
I think that was like 1980s. It had to have been 80s.
Was it like the first cartoon, right?
Some I would say Spider-Man 1980s.
Are you okay? You ready for this? You gotta lose your shit when I tell you when the first cartoon came out.
Oh Lord, I will go ahead.
Okay, let me ask you a question. When do you think it was?
19. I'm gonna say what the first cartoon, 1960 something.
Wow, you're fucking close. 1967 and lasted 3 seasons. I remember
Okay.
watching that back in Greece. God, I'm fucking old.
Wow. That was Spider-Man, 1960 something.
Yeah.
Let me see, 1967 episode. It was full episodes in that. Wow.
Before we go on, yes, Stace, you have to make your own birthday cake, bring it over here, leave so me and Hashim could try your work. That's how it works. Right, Hashim?
Well, yeah, I would love to try. Hey, anybody baking, I'm all for it. I'm ready for it, but she shouldn't have to do it on her birthday. Good
Shut up, you.
Lord. All right.
Okay, let's get into the show. All right. So we finally we're hitting the biggest argument in the history of anything. Who is better, DC or Marvel? Pick side right now, Jim. Go.
Ooh, Marvel.
Okay, Marvel here too. DC was great when you were a kid, I believe. DC is more a kid-friendly show, a most friendly anime, cartoon, comic book. I
Mm-hmm.
think DC, Marvel is more adult-driven. Agree or
Yeah,
disagree?
I agree with you with that.
Okay, so my first question here to you is
Go
more a
ahead.
comment, I would say.
Okay.
So, in the interest of comic books, what is powerful, overdriven between both comic books or both companies? Would you say?
What? Say that again. Powerful over driven,
Yes.
meaning who? What
Who do
are
you
we
think is
trying
more
to say?
powerful?
Of the two.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's a hard one right there because even though I might say Marvel, DC got some they got some
They have some
superheroes
bangers.
over there. Yeah, they have some people over there. So it's kind of hard to really say because even though I'm gonna say Marvel, I always used to think back when Superman was the strongest. But then as time went along, you have Thor. As time went along, you have who else can I say? It's like, listen, this one here going back to DC, you got Batman. He don't even have superpowers, but the man fought against a lot of people and won. A lot of these superheroes and won. So I don't know, Pete. It's kind of hard to say which one it is. We can battle back and forth, but they can be equally matched. What you say?
I disagree with you.
Talk to me.
Okay, so yes, DC has some bangers. You have
Yeah.
Batman. I would
Mm.
say Batman is probably more adult driven and most smartest person to have, and he's a martial artist. So I'll give him a point there. Ding, right there. All right. Now, let me see if I have a bell here. Uh,
Hey, listen!
okay, that's my best bell I have right here. Okay. Superman. I think he's good, but we have other ones that are as powerful in the DC, Marvel universe. Thor, for example.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, if you put some of these guys versus each other, who's going to win? That's the question.
I think Superman could beat Thor.
Uh, Close. I think close. But I'm going to give you a better one. A better
Mhm.
ground level. All right.
Okay.
Who's going to beat who? Captain America versus Iron Man?
Didn't hmm. Hmm. I'm gonna go with hmm. Captain America?
No, I said as a Captain. I'm sorry. Did I say I meant Iron Man versus Batman. I'm sorry. I apologize. That's my fault.
Oh, Iron Man versus Batman.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with Batman. I
Why
think
Batman?
Batman could take him
Oh, I
because
disagree with
even
that one.
I
Wait,
know
wait, wait,
you
wait. Time out,
would,
time out,
but
time out. First of all, we gotta have to get a fight. We have to get the fights rules in here. All right. No low blowing, no eye gouging, no penis shots, no dingling, and no back shots. Fair?
got you.
Okay. So we got the rules out of the way. As we say that, so the question is, with their armor suits or without?
Now, if they have armor suits, Batman gonna get them. I think with his
That's right.
technology, and how he is, and especially the way he fights, he's tactical. I
Are
think he can
you
be
on
Iron
drugs?
Man. No, I don't think so.
Dude,
What I
fucking Iron Man has a fucking a raptor, excuse me, a little freaking thing built into his fucking chest who can blow you the fuck out. You telling me
man,
that little thing, Batman's gonna go,
what
gotcha.
little thing? Well, he got. I think he has something for Iron Man. Iron Man. I
Man, he
mean,
doesn't even
he
fall
has a
Iron Man.
look.
First of all, Iron Man goes to shoot, he's gonna fly out and go, boom, boom, you're dead. Boom, boom, you're dead. Okay, hang
Oh, okay. I think.
on. I'm like,
I
are you
think.
serious gonna tell me Batman's gonna win in his
I think Batman.
armor? And if
I
he
think
calls
Batman.
the Hulkbuster down armor,
Now who?
the Hulkbuster armor.
Wait a minute. Oh, now you switch from the Hulk to,
No,
against
no,
Iron
wait,
Man.
wait. Oh
Oh,
man, I forgot how old you are. So don't forget, Iron Man has several suits. He has 100 suits,
yes.
and he has one called the Hulkbuster. If you watched one of the Avengers movies, I can't remember which one is it. Is it Age of Ultron or is the other next one of that?
Which one with Iron
Infinity
Man?
War, I think it is.
Okay.
No, I gotta look it up now. So he calls, Friday, who's the new Jarvis,
Yes.
sends him a new armor. He puts that armor on top of his existing armor. It's called the Hulkbuster. That's the only armor that can stop the Hulk.
Okay, I'm looking at it right now. I see what you. Okay, I remember this one.
Okay,
Yeah.
what movie is that from? Do you see?
Noise.
Remember?
It's not telling me. I ain't on the movie. Let me see. The Hulkbuster David Banner created. Yes, and already the Hunter armor. Yada yada. It's not telling me the movie.
I think it's
Let me
Infinity War.
see.
I really think it's Infinity War.
It's Infinity War.
I think so. CQ, where the hell
Or
are you when I need you?
Avengers. Age of Ultron.
Oh, is it Age of
Avengers.
Ultron? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, let's get back to the conversation before we get off track.
Well, you know what? Since I saw this one, maybe, but I don't know. When I look at Batman, I just think he's real smart. And when you saw him
Are
fight
you
a lot
fucking
of them,
serious, dude? Fucking Tony Stark is a goddamn that's a genius. He's a billionaire. He's smarter than fucking Einstein. He
I
built
don't
his
know.
first fucking car when he was fucking 8 years old.
Every time I saw Tony Stark fight somebody, wow, he got beat up. So I don't know. I'm not even. I don't. I never really cared for Iron Man. Never cared for Iron Man.
I'm gonna keep buzzing until you agree with me, fucker. Okay, so Iron Man. Okay, Captain. Okay, both of them are rich, filthy fucking rich.
Yeah.
Let's be honest.
Oh, yeah.
Point there for both of them. You can't. You have to tie that out. Okay. Both of them made their armors in a certain way.
Yeah.
So they're tied there, okay? Both of them, actually, this is what I'm gonna look up because I don't even know this. Does
What?
Tony Stark know martial arts?
I don't think so.
He actually does. It says here, according to Marvel's official page, is Marvel.
Martial arts.
Yes, he has. Even without Spider-Man learning martial arts, that makes no sense.
So I never remember Tony Stark doing no martial arts.
I do remember a couple scenes. Like if you remember the second one, Iron Man 2,
Uh-huh.
he's actually doing MMA in the ring.
Oh yeah.
And Happy goes, "That's dirty. That's dirty boxing." He goes, "No, it's what MMA has been around since yesterday." That was a joke.
Hmm.
So yes, he has been training since a teenager. So both of them have a point there.
Yeah.
Fighting styles. So he got 3 for 3. Now,
Mm-hmm.
both of them lost their parents very young. That's 4 for
Yeah.
4. They're tied up right now. Like you don't realize how common they are. Now, where it really breaks down is Tony built his armor off the reactor he has.
Okay.
Batman built his suit off a fear. The Batman.
Okay.
The bat. He was scared of the bats. So So I know they have two different technologies in their suits. Batman barely has any technology. If you really think about it, how much technology does Batman have in it?
He
I'll
has a
be
lot of
biased.
technology.
I'm
He
sorry.
has a lot of he has a lot of technology. His
Not like
gadgets,
no,
his
fuck you. Not
suit.
like fucking Iron Man.
Can I read something to you?
Go for it.
No, you finished. Listen here. I just pulled this up.
Oh Christ.
Iron Man tends to rely on his weapon in combat, while Batman places the greatest emphasis on his hand-to-hand combat abilities. While Iron Man certainly holds his own combat in hand-to-hand showdown, is highly likely. Oh, wait a minute. Is highly likely that Batman, they say, will come. Oh, look at that! Will come out on top. It's highly likely that Batman would come out on top due to his superior physicality and combat skills.
Okay, I'm not arguing that part. I'm arguing about tech right now.
Oh, well, we could do tech all you want. I mean, okay, technology, he has more than Batman. His suits, his gadgets, his all that stuff, it's fine. It's
Mm-hmm.
cool. I mean, whatever. You can have somebody fly him up to the top there out of the atmosphere and he'll probably pass out. But we're talking about battling. We're talking about at the end who's going to win. No.
Yeah.
All right. I still say Batman. He could be fancy. Iron Man could be fancy. He can come out and have different color rays for all I care. But who's going to win?
That is a good question. Okay, so let's take the armors away for everything. Let's go
Oh,
hand to
we
hand
take
combat.
Batman. If you take the
I
armor
will
away,
agree with you.
yeah, if you take armor away and it's straight up this, that's Batman.
Okay.
I don't think Tony Stark's is getting down like that. The best thing for him is his suits and everything that you was talking about. So he'll have a chance, but Batman.
Okay, I'll give you that. I will give you that. Batman will beat him on a straight old school fist to fist fight. Can we agree on that?
Yeah.
Okay. So let's get back to my questions here. Okay. So my first question to you now tonight
Okay.
is what is the biggest disagreement, chapters, and themes that set Marvel and DC apart from each other during their storyline, chapter development, and building worlds? That's a hard one.
Yeah. Because it seemed like they both try to go in a different way. But it's like you said, DC seemed to have catered to, it looked like more the younger, like the kids or something to me. And Marvel looked like they just went more grown up. Their storylines went a little different, but they tried to keep them close, but I think that's where they differ from kids, I think, to adults. Somewhat, to me. I don't know if I'm answering your question. I'm trying to
So let me
really go
jump
back
in
with
here
it.
to help you a little bit with this one because there's only two of us. I will say I agree with it, and I'll tell you why. Stan Lee, when he actually, I think he was a head designer at one time,
Uh-huh.
or head director, or whatever his role. He was like one of the higher ups, right? So
Mm-hmm.
Stan Lee lived in New York.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so if he was down, say, 56th Street, 56th Street North Avenue, or whatever address, right, in Brooklyn,
Okay.
Manhattan, whatever, he used to put that in his books, real, actual places. Now with DC, they're using made up places, Gotham, for example.
Okay.
So you can relate a lot more with the Marvel stuff, if that makes sense. Number one.
Mm-hmm.
Now, different chapters.
Mm-hmm.
Different chapters, how I look at that answer is how do you break down the chapters differently? Superman, for example. Superman is a very known superhero. Let's be honest here, right?
Yes. Yes.
But you have Captain America, a very known superhero too.
Mm-hmm.
So how do you cut those two apart? You can't. Why? That's the question I'm gonna ask right now.
You can't. Well, other than them being they're world known, but in a way you can, because one is like he's supposed to be a god, or what do you call him? He's supposed to be above superhuman. But then you have Captain America too. What is he? A super soldier that they built. Well, not built. What they gave him some type of serum or something like
Yeah,
that. How they did him?
the super
Yeah.
soldier serum.
So you can put them apart. One, he don't need nobody. The other one, well, they both don't need anyone. So, but now if you put those two together, who you say will win?
I'll pick Superman on that one.
In Captain America?
I think he's not gonna have his chance.
Yeah, I would. I think he have a little chance, but Superman got that.
I think so with his powers. That's why.
Yeah. You know another thing too about the difference. I think I'm gonna hit you back with the Marvel and DC. Marvel seemed like they teamed up. They had a lot of their superheroes team. It looked like DC, when you saw DC, especially back in the days. I don't know about too much now, but DC back in the day, it was always solo. When you saw, it was like name some characters. It was like Spider-Man, Flash, another DC like Spectra, and a lot of them. They was all
Green
solo.
Arrow and so on.
Yeah, everybody was like a solo character coming to do their thing. When you had Marvel, even though you had a few that were solo, but it was like more of a team, more of a family type of thing going together, fighting.
Okay, if we're talking early '90s or '80s, around there, yes, there were solo play people.
Yeah.
You might see sometimes Batman and Superman team up because those are the two this is a personal opinion. I have no facts on this one. Just I feel Superman and Batman kind of pushed up the spectrum. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
If you think about it, Superman and Batman was the two first main characters in any comic book from Action Comics. Let's give them that. I will give them that. So, I'll give you a better one. Who can actually hold their own against Superman? Who do you think? If I tell you, you're not going to believe it.
Hold on, let me see. Who can I say between Superman? Well, listen, let me see if I can get you on this. It looked like in the movie, Batman held his own against Superman, didn't he?
But no, I'm talking about DC. DC versus Marvel. So, yes, I'll give him that. He held his own, but that's in the same universe. We're talking about universe versus universe.
Universe versus universe. Hold on, let me see. Who can I say before you get there? Could we say the Hulk?
Close. I'll give you. He has fought the Hulk. So let me go back.
Wait a minute. There was a character I remember from comic book.
I'm sorry, he
had
remember
a
that back.
suit too. He had a what was his name? It was It wasn't Rhino. It was somebody like that. He had on like a gray suit, somewhat. I think he beat Superman too. Yeah, thank you. But I can't think of his name right now. Go ahead.
Gray suit like a rhino.
Yeah, it was like
It is like an evil character called the Rhino in Spider-Man universe.
I know. Yeah, I know who that is, but it's not him.
So,
but go ahead.
The one person who actually can go blow to blow with Superman is Captain Marvel.
They had some people talk about that. I didn't.
I'm looking at the article right now. I'm gonna try to read this as best I can. While Superman is smarter, tactical, and has greater speed, Captain Marvel cosmic energy multiplies could allow her abilities to surpass attack and to embrace her powers Well, look who finally came in the house. Northbeard. Let's give him a round of applause for him. So, Northbeard, welcome and enjoy the show. If you want to know, we are talking about Marvel versus DC. Oh,
Wow,
and
Captain
Northbeard,
Marvel.
so you know, well, look out for my review. I'm reviewing your products this week. It's coming out on Tuesday. Just FYI about that.
I got one for you. Go ahead. Before I got another one for you.
Yeah.
It just popped up.
So,
Go ahead.
you know what? I'm gonna drop the link for whoever wants to jump in with us in the comments right now. Oh, where is it? Guys, give me 1 second to get in there. I'm gonna drop it for everybody. Whoever wants to join us, please do. The mic is gonna be open tonight for whoever likes to come with us. Just give me 1 quick second. I'm dropping it right now. Come with us.
Yeah, I see what you're saying about Captain Marvel. They said it's a tough sell. Is his weakness of a
So as I say, her
but
powers can outpass him because of the cosmonaut. That's one. And here's the word highlights the most. We give the Sinister's edge to Captain Marvel. Her energy overwhelms Superman's defeating given any time. The floor is yours, Ishim. Go for it.
with Captain Marvel, I didn't believe that when I hear it. I was like, Superman could beat Captain Marvel.
He can
But
recharge his powers when we get to the sun, but when he's getting beat up and the sun's not around, he's fucked.
I got one for you.
Oh, great. Here we go.
Yeah. How about Thanos?
Thanos versus who?
Superman.
I actually, you know, it's funny. When I did that Google search, guess who came in one of the categories? Thanos.
Because I was thinking about it, and I just thinking about because of the movie, and I'm like, yo, I think he can do them. And without even using the stones or whatever the case, you think because he's more tactical, him.
Okay, without the stones, here what I get, okay?
Okay.
Thanos might has been stronger to defeat than Thor. All right. For example, his defeat matters while it comes to a big blue boy scout. I'm not making this shit up. That because Superman remains much more powerful than Thanos, so they give this one category to Superman because of his strength, pretty much. Don't forget Thanos. He might be strong to us as a human being, but alien versus alien, he's not stronger than Superman. Superman has atomic beam eyes, the laser eyes, or whatever you want to call it. He can fly. He can speed. What's called it? What is it? Bulletproof. All this stuff, right?
Yeah.
Thanos can do none of that.
No, but just like anything else, he probably have something, because how he is, he probably can withstand what Superman do too. Let me see where you read. Let me see if I can pull up something on Thanos. Oh, here we go. Thanos proved to be an exceptionally formidable foe. Let me see. Speaking outside the movies, however, Thanos just plain fierce, scaling with the power levels of the dark side himself. But he's not saying it. Let me see. Even if Superman comes at him with full force, Thanos might have something in store for him. That's all they're saying. Superman certainly falls flat if Thanos is in possession of even one Infinity Stone. Also, basically, they're saying he needs the stone. He would stand a chance if it was the All-Star Superman variant who could lift up to 200, quadrillion tons. So basically, maybe it is Superman because they're saying he would need one of the stones, if anything, to at least get him. I thought maybe he would be able to withstand him.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, I just pulled up something and they saying Iron Man. I don't think Iron Man could beat no Superman. I don't think he could beat no Superman. Come on now. I would put Thor before Iron Man.
Iron Man? No, actually, I'll give it to somebody else. You ready for it?
Go ahead.
Hulk.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you why right now.
Go ahead.
When he goes berserker, Hulk, nothing's stopping him. When he goes ape shit, ooh, forget it. He goes
Yeah.
crazy.
That's true. Like
So,
they said, the madder he gets, the stronger he is. Yeah.
exactly. But Superman has a limit of his strength.
And then too, I don't know where everybody, it looked like from the movies and comic books, I don't know where everybody getting this kryptonite from. They pulling it out their pocket and stopping them. I don't know where they selling this stuff at, where they it's like they just finding it in the street and beating Superman. Everybody seemed to have kryptonite messing around with him. I
I
never
assume
understand it.
kryptonite was kind of like easy to find at one point.
Easy. Where the hell you find that at? But it just seemed like they know.
Yeah, yeah.
The black market, where they finding it?
Jesse Penny's. I guess that was a good question. I don't know where they're coming from. The writers are like, here, kryptonite. You take one. You take one. Like like remember Oprah. You get a bus. You get a bus. You get kryptonite. You get kryptonite. You get kryptonite. We all get kryptonite.
I'm telling you. Listen here, and just as we say that, they have. I'm on this site here. They say as number 3. They say Doctor Strange
Versus
Superman. They said he can beat him. He has a tactical mastermind capable of altering reality. He is the strongest magic user there is. The magic as his natural weakness, the Man of Steel would have no choice but to face the hurt. They said he's basically number 3 that can beat him of superheroes.
I disagree.
I
hang on. I tell you why I disagree. Before you get jump me down the throat.
No,
I don't think there's a fair fight because he has powers. You know who I think who might give him a run for his money?
Who?
Dr. Faith.
Dr. Faith.
Oh God! Don't tell you. Listen, oh man.
Faith. Now you got me looking. Wait a minute, Dr. Faith.
He had a helmet like back in like a knight helmet. Back in the day, it was gold most of the times. He was in the DC universe, obviously.
I think
so. Here, as you look it up, I'm going to read you the article. It says, okay, through their powers are very similar in scope. Is their use of the powers that different than them? Both are heroes with their respective universes. Sorry, I had to read that myself a minute. But Dr. Faith exudes as much stronger, normal, compass, and level of human that makes him a fair, more powerful wizard of magic than most super scoped in comics. I'm not even going to try to pronounce that word again. In other words, Dr. Fate is stronger.
Yeah, he was in the Justice League. I remember who this is now. Yeah, I remember who this was. I forgot all about him until you just said it.
Yeah. Okay. So he wasn't really in the Justice League. He was, but he wasn't. If that makes sense. He was here and there, but
yeah,
he was more background character. If that makes sense.
Okay.
I will get to the Justice Leagues in a minute. I'm getting there. I'm getting there very, very soon. So they're saying he's stronger.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Dr. Faith?
Yes, Dr. Faith is 10 times stronger. Not 10 times, but stronger.
Reading it. We're reading it from what they're saying here. Yeah, it sounds like he's stronger. But then it says, Dr. Fate would have a little trouble taking Superman down. So I don't know. They say the man is still also susceptible to magic and telepath, being the most powerful magic user in the DC universe, as well as telepath. And then they go on to say Dr. Fate would have a little trouble taking Superman down. So I don't know. There's a lot of people up here, because in this damn article they talking about Flash, and I'm like, Flash. So I guess it goes to debating on what you know about the character and how you figure that he can use whatever power or whatever, to defeat one another. But Superman was supposed to be, basically unbeatable, especially back when. Now they got so many, characters and things out. You don't even know no more. You don't know who is invincible anymore. And especially like I just went there, we saw that movie, Batman beat Superman.
Okay, I'll give you that. So let me give this one. Portfolio. Chapters, obviously. Who has the better portfolio? Meaning, comeback, arsenal, storyline, like Spider-Man and Batman. Highlights of the original powers could be transitioned which way to modern time versus the hit when it first came out, the comic books, like Action Comic 1 to Spider-Man whatever edition now. I lost count after, I don't know, might get after 70,000.
You said Spider-Man?
Yes, like I'm just using that as an example. Like their portfolios over the years had changed. So what do you think?
You're talking about the portfolio of Spider-Man and Superman?
No, Marvel and DC. That's their characters in
general. Their portfolio over the year. I think Marvel, by far, has a better portfolio than DC. With the characters, who they have out, I think Marvel is more superior to DC to me. What you think?
I think Marvel has them hands down, even before the MCU came out. I'll tell you why. So Marvel, yes, DC beat them to the punch with theater, with Superman and Batman. We can give them that. Then they had some shows, Lois and Clark, The Flash, and so on.
Wonder Woman.
Okay, then we had a couple here creeping in here there. They had a couple of them movies. We had some Marvel movies. The first Avenger movie was in the 60s, I believe, that we do not talk about. That's how bad it was. If you remember, that's how bad.
Yeah.
Then you had some other shows like the Hulk coming out of Marvel. But Marvel in the 60s, 70s, and 80s was always one step ahead of them. Because they had funding, because of the kids were buying their comic books. Now, as those kids got older, they're starting liking more bloodier stuff. Spawn, for example, and so on. I know Spawn not part of this universe, but I'm using it as an example, more bloodier. Like the Punisher.
Yeah. That's Marvel. DC, right? Punisher. No, Marvel.
That's Marvel. Look it up.
Yeah, that's Marvel. No, I just, yeah.
So, as we're talking about that.
Yo, somebody just text me. Said, greetings. Somebody just texted me and said, remember a character, there's a Japanese character called the One Punch Man. He's powerful than all of them. Yo, I never heard of it. I'm going to have to look this up. One Punch Man.
Listen, tell your buddy just hit a sub button if he's going to make a comment like that.
I would have to look that up. One Punch Man, a Japanese superhero.
Yeah, I know. I heard of it.
Oh, you heard of it?
But I heard of it.
You know who that is.
So anyway, back to what we're saying. Paul, what's going on, man? And hopefully you're coming up soon. But no pressure again. So as we're talking about, where did I leave? I just had brain fart. Thank you, fucker.
See what
I hate you
they
or
throw it
something.
in
I
there.
fucking hate you something.
Yeah, you got to throw these things in there sometimes. People, I never even heard of that. So you're gonna have me looking this stuff up now. I gotta look it up.
So I have to remember where I left. Okay, so we're talking about as we get older, we
Mm-hmm.
start investing into other things like bigger and badder toys. Like he went from a
Yeah.
water gun to a BB gun to a real fucking gun. Similar to Marvel. So as things get older, you're like more stuff.
Yeah.
Older stuff like now you start going more to Marvel stuff because it's more realistic. Like I remember when Punisher first came out. You remember how good that was? I'm not talking
Punisher?
about the He-Man version Punisher. I'm talking about the Punisher of 2004. Was it?
Oh, he was nasty.
Oh man, he was fucking awesome.
He was nasty.
I think he was the best Punisher. But we started liking more better stuff like that, so we went after that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so as we're doing watching those stuff, and Stacey has a good point. Deadpool is another one. You like more stuff like that as you're older. Now
Yeah,
the more
Deadpool.
the more women got shifted from DC has all everybody's going after them because they like it. It went this way.
Mm-hmm.
I can tell you how they did it too. You ready? Okay, before I tell you how, I'm gonna ask you a question here.
Okay, go ahead.
As you can go into, okay, how have the Marvel Cinematic Universe, MCU, and the DC Extended Universe, DCEU, I don't know how the hell they fucking pronounce that, shares
Say that
the landscapes
Yeah.
of superhero movies and what are the same key factors, approaches, cinematic storytelling now? Floor is yours.
I kind of got lost with it. You saying how does it change?
Okay, so how?
What,
Okay, how's Marvel and DC? You with me so far?
go ahead.
Shape the landscaping of movies. Key differences they're approaching to the cinematic storytelling. You with me so far?
Oh, the way I think I understand where you're going with it, and especially the way Marvel has told their story with their characters. I think is much better than how DC did it, and especially the actors. Maybe I think I'm answering your question that Marvel have for their actors is way better than DC and storytelling and who's portraying them. Is that where we're going? Am I on the right, or I'm way off from
Kind
what
of,
you're
yeah.
saying?
So okay, so I would say MCU has a better storyline. First of all,
Mm-hmm.
because they stretch the stories out. Here's the
Yeah.
argument statement now. All right, a lot of people argue with this. Well, if I have to follow Marvel, I gotta watch all the Disney shows too. That's the point of it.
Yeah, that's the point that they're trying to do, and I think that's with all of them. You have to you're going to have to go back on comic books, the shows, you're going to have to go back because almost like how when we was talking about back when with Star Wars, they showed it to you, but then if you didn't read the book or you didn't know what was going on, you just saw what was happening now, and you'd be like, wait a minute, how that happen? You know,
And
so
that's where
you
I'm
have to
going
go
with this.
back. Yes,
So let's say hi to King.
King.
King, question for you in the chats. Marvel or DC? Go now. So how can I put this in the right words? I'm looking for it.
Well, why you think of that? I'm going with this One Punch Man. I think they said he has he has limitless power and he's invincible. I think I'm
he's
gonna have
an
to look him
anime
up a little bit
goddamn
more.
character.
Yeah, I know he's anime, but it seems like he works.
Smith
But go
says
ahead.
Marvel. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm on Smith's side. I can't believe I said that on air. I hope my gear doesn't crash now because I said that. And why, please? Okay, so I feel they do that on purpose, and they have said it. They did it on purpose so you can keep coming back.
Mm-hmm.
With Marvel, DC, like I can skip a couple episodes and be okay with it. Good example, Arrow. Arrow is one of their best series, I think, in DC. I think it. So here's where I think DC is better than Marvel, and I'll explain to you why in a minute.
Go ahead.
TV shows.
You
Before
think the
Disney,
TV shows
forget
in
Disney's
DC?
born. Forget that for a minute. I'm talking about when
Mhm.
Arrow came out, Flash. You know the what was this? What year was this shit coming
What
out?
other TV shows they had?
Yeah, there was a
They
bunch of
had a,
them. They canceled a lot of them too.
yeah. I was just about to say that they canceled a lot of those TV
Yeah.
shows from DC. So it's like, were they any? Were they any good?
Trying to remember what
It's
date
like
year. Okay, 2012 it came out. So when it came out, okay, thank you, you too. So when it came out, it was Marvel. Arrow was really pushing the boundaries.
uh-huh.
Now they're talking about Arrow be coming back soon. Yeah, whatever. What I didn't like about Arrow, it was different.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't a beating him up, but you could miss a couple episodes and still know what's going on. The only time you were a little bit confused when they did those crossovers with Superwoman. No, Supergirl was it? Yeah, Supergirl.
It was Supergirl.
Supergirl, Flash, and so on.
The Supergirl stayed on for a couple of seasons, didn't it? I watched a few episodes, but I think it stayed on for about 3, 4, 5 seasons, something like that. Well, 4 or 5.
I'm not sure how long it stayed on
Supergirl.
because I wasn't a big fan of Supergirl. So I didn't like how they were, what direction they were going with him.
Yeah. And then they try to throw out that Batwoman. I watched that. I was like, oh, okay.
That's
I didn't
another
really
example. Like there were a bunch of them they tried to do. I'm
Let me
actually
hit you
looking at a
with this
picture right
one.
now. They did the League of Legend of Tomorrow. That was a series they spin off the everything was off the Arrow.
Yeah.
They were really good at shows, on TV shows. Really fucking good. I'll give them credit. But Marvel was better at the movies. That's where the money is in movies, if you think about it. In my opinion, I think, at least.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
I
You
have
make
no
more money.
theory. Hey, King, if you're still in the chat, what makes more money? More TV shows or movies? I'm curious what you may know a little more about this than I do.
Maybe the TV shows because of
You know
the
what?
series, the
what am I doing?
episodes.
I
Maybe the
have
long
internet right in
run.
front of me.
DC had this this show that was on. I don't even know if it ever came back. It was called The Watchmen. You ever watch that?
Yeah, I watched that before.
I don't know. Is it still around, or I don't know whatever
I'm not sure,
happened
to
with
be
that.
honest with you.
See, that's another DC one that just fell apart. You don't even, they come on and you don't even know what happens to them.
I think it was a movie, wasn't it?
Oh, that was a movie? I thought that was a show.
I think it was a movie. Hang on, I'll tell you right now. Okay,
Yeah,
here
I
you
thought that
go.
was a show. No, that was a show. It says season 1, one season. Wow.
So King
one
says I
season.
enjoy the series a lot. I don't
I don't read comic books now
comics
as
now.
more visual.
And I agree with that. I don't have time for that shit myself, to be honest.
Yeah. That's how
Yeah,
it was. I used to
Watchmen
buy a
was
lot
a
of them.
2009 movie. They actually made a series, they say here too, on HBO.
Yeah, I remember. It was HBO or Netflix. It was one of them. I know I was watching it back when.
I don't remember this because I just missed. I never had HBO. That's maybe why I never caught my why. They tried to push a second season, but it did not go through. It wasn't as a good hit as other series they had. But what I was trying to say was Marvel, and this is where I get pissed off with DC versus Marvel. Marvel was great with movies, but they didn't do great with the shows. At the time, I think they had Shield and a couple of things. It wasn't a lot, but it wasn't. You know what I'm saying? It was okay, mediocre.
Wasn't the Shield on for a lot of seasons?
It was a good amount of season. I can't remember how many seasons. To be honest with
Yeah,
you, I'm
the
gonna look at it now.
Shield. Let me see. The Shield was on. I think a lot of people ran for that one. Let me see if yeah. I
Yeah,
think
you
that.
look it
Let
up
me
as
see.
I'm going to finish my statement here.
Good.
I'm not saying it was bad. I'm not saying that. I'm saying it was good,
Mm-hmm.
but it wasn't like, yo, did you catch Shield last week? Did you ever hear anybody say that to you?
Of that show, yes.
I
I
don't
used to
remember
know
that.
people who ran for that. 7 seasons. Yeah, Agents of Shield.
Yeah,
I knew people who used to love that bad boy. They used to
I'm not
watch
saying it
it.
was bad. I'm not. Again, you're misunderstanding what I'm
Yeah.
saying. I'm not saying it was bad.
Or you're
I'm saying it
saying
was
people
good.
who
But not like the shows now these on DC. I mean Disney Plus. They're up here. I think shows a little more down here, if that makes sense.
okay.
But DC did a great job with the shows. Now DC goes, hey, we need the money, our hands in the pot too. You know, movies. We got to put our hands in there. But they were so behind already. They're trying to catch up, and they push,
Mhm.
push, 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 push. They couldn't catch up. Agree or
No.
disagree?
I agree with you.
And came out with shitty movies. And that's my next question to you
Oh
is
Lord.
Justice League versus Avengers.
Avengers?
Why?
I think I'm gonna go with Avengers. I think Avengers. I love the characters. I think their characters they would get Justice League, but then Justice League had. Ooh, now you got me looking it up. Paul, how you doing?
Doing well. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah,
Let
we
me
can
get
hear
you
you.
on right now, Paul. Give me 1 second. I'm actually in the process of throwing you in.
Yes, put them in there so we can talk about Justice League versus Avengers.
All right. Welcome. The president is in the house.
Salute, gentlemen. Just thought I'd
Yes,
jump on for a
yes.
little bit. You figure I got a few minutes. In fact, I might have to take a call, so I got my phone on mute here in case someone buzzes me. But I figure I'd be on for a few minutes. But I need to.
Worst
need
case
to
scenario,
jump back
Paul, I
off.
can always take you off for a little bit, and if you want to come back, it's great too.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, just got back from a function, so.
How was it? How was it? You had a good time?
No, it was great. No, it was really good. It was you guys Hasim, you'll appreciate this. So a friend of ours turned 70. So the party had music from the 70s. So you had the funk, you had the soul, the Philly soul, you had the R&B on, you had the disco music. So you had all of the stuff. So we were out there, you were shaking the leg a good portion of the night. You sat down, and then my wife was like, "Oh, they put another one of my jams on, so we got to get up again." So so it was like one of those. So it's like you got to go to the OG parties to get that classic club late 60s 70s music on. So it was definitely retro, but it was like the music you play at the cookout. So it was good all night.
Yeah, you heard that Before I Let Go and a lot of other stuff going on.
Oh yeah.
Paul, let me ask you a serious question now.
A lot of Frankie Beverly, absolutely.
Yes.
How tired are you now?
It's I don't dance a lot anymore. Like back in the day, my wife and I, we go clubbing a lot. And so it's like any other exercise. You get tired. Your calves, your quads get tired from doing it. And I don't dance that often unless we go to, we've been to some parties as of late. They'll have DJs and whatnot. But you up there for like 20 minutes dancing continuously. Yeah. It's like I need a break because I just the movement, you start feeling cramping in your calves and whatnot. It's like, man, I'm out of dancing shape. But it's something that's kind of rare today because I'm even thinking with like young people, like how often do you get out on the dance floor for like a 45 minutes to an hour straight? Just jam after jam when you got the DJ going and he's got it cranking and you're coming off the dance floor pouring in sweat. You need a towel or go to the men's room to get the towels to towel yourself off. I'm like, just sweat just coming down. It was literally like a workout. I mean, you want to talk about, getting in shape, before
that is one benefit of having hair. It catches the sweat.
Stuff like that.
Yeah, especially when you don't do it like that, how you used to.
Nah, I'm out of it, man. My wife, she does spin bike every morning and whatnot. So she's her cardio conditioning is a little bit better than mine. So she can handle that a little bit better than me. But back in the day, man, it would be like we would be in there for like hour sets. Like everybody else got up to dance floor, we'd still be going for like the next round. We just love to dance, and but that's something that we do less of. But yeah, when need be, I could still go up there. But it's I'll be feeling this tomorrow, man. My calves will be killing me tomorrow.
Well, hopefully it won't hit you where when you know how it is when you land, it's time to get up. That's when it really hits you. That's when you start feeling everything.
Yeah,
cracking and popping.
I'm telling you, man. It's definitely it's definitely but it was nice. I mean, just the music and everything. Everybody, like you even had the servers, because you had servers serving the food on the side. They're bobbing up and down. It's like, oh yeah, that's the whole place was just lit up.
Yeah,
just with the jams, man.
When you can get out like that from time to time is good.
Yeah, good. Very much so. Very much so. And I was
music.
Too young for a lot of that stuff. Like I said, I was a kid in the 70s, but I remember, and I'm still a fan of disco music. The Bee Gees and a lot of those groups, Studio 54, and all those. Yeah. If you had about how to get in there, because that place, I saw a documentary on that place, and they were very selective in terms of who they let in, and you had to have either VIP status or they could just pick you out the lineup. So you, but not you. You'd be like, what's wrong with me? But they had a way of picking.
I was too small for that one, but I used to hear about it.
Yeah,
definitely hear about it.
That was the spot.
54.
Really fast before we get off topic, these, like you said, kids these days in dance floors or young adults, they don't know bopping, grinding. That's all they know now.
Yeah.
Except you do a kiki dance, you get out and you chase your car, or you get run over by the car.
But even dancing, but any kind of dancing, slow dancing, when the slow jams came on, you with your lady, without the grinding stuff, but I think that came out of the dance hall thing, like the reggae dance hall, all that grinding stuff came, and it just took over. And that's the only thing people know how to do these days. But I'm talking about you just take your lady, and she's wrap her arms around your shoulders, and you just vibe dancing. If she's your lady, you kiss her on the shoulder, on the cheek, or whatever. You're making love on the dance floor, but it's not obscene, And so that's definitely different. But I don't want to take away the thunder of the show. I know you guys are in topic here.
Yeah, we're arguing right now a little bit. So let me ask you a question, Paul.
Yo,
I assume you know a little bit about comic books at some point.
A little bit. I wasn't a huge comic guy. I mean, I did some, but I'm like, some guys were light years ahead of me when it came to that.
Let me ask you a serious question. This is do and die now.
Serious question about comics.
All right. I will get. Do I need to get the helmet out? First of all, do I need to get the helmet out?
Ask your question.
Marvel or DC? Which one you pick?
Depends on the day and the time and the era. Growing up, no. If you know anything about me,
you got to pick one or the other, my man.
Now, if you know anything about me by now, I am a man of nuance. And,
I know too much about you. That's problem.
So comic books go. So if I went back, comic books, it was probably Marvel. In particular, Hulk and Iron Man were probably my two main comics growing up. When it came to television, it was DC by a mile. Because again, back then you had, I grew up on like the Adventures of Superman with George Reeves, and and the 1966 Batman that was on. So so that was dominant. And then in the 70s, you had a revival of again DC. Wonder Woman. When Wonder Woman came out in 1975, Linda Carter. That was my first crush. That was my first crush. Was Linda Carter. Unbelievable. And still to this day, she is the only Wonder Woman. Gal Gadot, I know she's played, but she's the only Wonder Woman. She broke the mold. There's never been and never will be another Wonder Woman like Linda Carter. So she came out in 75. Then you had the Incredible Hulk that came out in 77.
David Banner.
Now but that was very different from the comics. I mean, they took that in such a different direction. It was a drama more so than action. And so, I was a big favorite of that. And then again, DC got out, and that was in the 70s. And then in the 78, Superman came out, Superman the movie, and Superman 2 after that. So really, Marvel really didn't get into the game seriously until really the 2002 Spider-Man. That was like really when Marvel tried to take off and do something substantive. But prior to that, Disney owned the TV and the movie market.
So I'm going to agree and disagree at the same time with you. I'm going to tell you why.
Well, can I finish my points first before you just jump all over me?
Shit.
Yeah, I was on a roll here. I'm just trying to. I'm building my argument, like a lawyer. I'm building my case.
He's in the dance mood, right? He's like,
let me land it, and then you can hack away.
You got a lot of energy to get off here.
Yeah. So again, 1990, DC came out again. The Flash. Remember the Flash series from 1990? That guy, John Wesley Shipp. It was a short-lived series, but that was again another pivotal TV moment. I was on CBS, ran for a couple of years again. So DC got on again. So now was another comic I grew up on was the Flash. So it was like I said, Hulk, Iron Man, Flash certainly was from the DC series, and also Batman. Of course, I also read a lot of Batman growing up as well. So so DC up until Marvel really came into it 2002. Then you had the 2004 Hulk, and then you had the 2007 Iron Man. That's when the MCU took off. But prior to that, it was DC hands down. And then I think the MCU I think really took over at that point. So again, it depends on the era, it depends on the time, and when things came into being. It's fluid.
So, like I said earlier, with Hashim the Wise, I agree and disagree with you. Here's why: 60s, 70s, 80s was definitely DC. They had the market, but a lot of us were still very young and wanted more the kiddish kind of superhero. Now, as we get older, the kids becomes adults. They get into the Punishers, the more beat 'em ups. But even in the 70s, in the 80s. We did have a Spider-Man show. A real guy swinging around. It was pretty bad.
That show wasn't very good, though.
It was
they
bad.
tried to capitalize. They actually, it's interesting you say that because there was an actual attempt to try to bring a lot of superhero comic action stuff together. They did have an early Avengers initiative.
We were just talking about that a few minutes ago.
The Hulk came out. Then there was a Captain America pilot with Red Brown that came out. I think they did 2 sort of TV movies, like, to see if they can get a serial going. It didn't get off the ground. Then there was another cult movie that came out. It was called Exo-Man. It was one movie, but it was supposed to be Iron Man. For some reason, there was some sort of contract dispute or whatever, so they couldn't call him Iron Man. But it was clearly based on Iron Man. It was called Exo-Man. And so you had Hulk. And then you also had the live-action Spider-Man from 1978. It wasn't very good. Okay.
The Avengers you're talking about came out in 1978.
The event, as far as an Avengers, that I do not, a live-action Avengers, that I do not recall. So, but I do recall them trying to come out with all those titles, and then eventually, if they all went well, maybe have an Avengers sort of bring them all together at one point later on. But I don't remember a live-action Avengers in '78. I'd have to go back and research it a bit more. But I do know about those 4 pilots.
Yeah, so they did the 4 pilots. They brought them together in 1978. Like some guy who is a really bad version of the Hulk. It was so bad, it's not funny. It looks like it's. I can't really tell from the picture much. It looks like it's the guy who played I can't forget his name. The Hulk from the series. He's actually doing the Hulk.
Oh, Lou Ferrigno.
Yes, thank you.
Lou Ferrigno.
Yeah. That was his prime. So everything I read on that, it was the worst movies. They're forgot in time for a reason. You know, they even changed Captain America's name, his storyline, and everything because they want to do a little different. It was a copyright stuff like that. Because you have the comic books side of it, and then you have the series side of the movies and so on, and that it's two different rights. It's weird. Mm-hmm. So anyway, so going to where I was going to leave off, we were talking about before you came in. We were talking about Marvel's Avengers versus DC's Justice League, and you're familiar with Justice League a little bit, I assume, correct, Paul?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we're not arguing. We're about to start arguing. Which one is better?
I'm gonna change my answer.
Nobody asked you, old man. Wait for your turn. It's Paul's turn.
Yes, it's Paul's turn. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Paul.
No, I was about to say I totally forgot about. Again, you talk about DC dominated. Even in the cartoon area, they dominated.
Yeah.
You figure the Super Friends from the 70s. That was Saturday morning must watch.
Oh, I remember that. Yeah.
Superman, the Wonder Twins.
The Wonder Twins powers deactivate.
Yeah, that's right. So DC was kicking butt for a long time. I remember, obviously, the original Spider-Man cartoon. You know, Spider-Man does whatever a spider can.
That to him.
They got that off, and I think I talked about last time. They did have the Marvel superhero show. 1966 was Hulk, Submariner, Captain America, the Avengers, and Iron Man. But it was basically they just ripped the pages off the comic books and did a little animation on the mouth or whatever to try to make them speak or something like that. But it was pretty rough back then.
Like you're flipping the card.
Yeah. Exactly. But then the Batman series, Batman and Robin, they had a show in the 60s. Superman had a show. They made the Amazing Adventures of Superman. They had Superman. They had Superboy. And Superboy had his dog.
I remember
that. So again, they were good. Now Marvel was actually better in other areas. So if you want to talk about Marvel's World of Super Adventure, that was the one that had the Herculoids. It had the Fantastic Four. Remember the 60s version of the Fantastic Four?
Yeah.
It's clobbering time.
Yes.
That was good. So Marvel has some entries on the comic books, on the comic end, but not nearly to the event that that DC did. So I would say definitely up through, like I said, I still make the argument at least until the 2000s was Marvel really sort of took over certainly the market. And of course, the 90s with the Batman animated series and all those shows that came out after that. I mean, they were still kicking butt.
So I would say like 70s, 60s, 80s, DC really conquered the world. Like I said, my theory is we were kids.
Even add the 90s though, the 90s too.
90s too. And 90s and 2000s is where the transitions from we were kids, we're going to the teenage to adulthood. We went to a little more edgier stuff, so things started going this way. And that's where I think things change. By the way, Paul, check your Facebook. I'm going to send you something. You can see what I'm talking about in a minute. About that 1978. You might bring memory back. But when it came down to it, now, who's better? You're going to say Avengers or Justice League? I think they're tied in this one, in this category.
No, Justice League.
Really? Why?
I'm going to go with Justice League because, like I was telling you from earlier, that Batman. And then you asked, who was in the Justice League? It was Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman.
You had all of them pretty much.
All of them pretty much. And just with Batman, Superman, a lot of they were more tactical. I think they can take Avengers. I think with that crew that they had,
you're wrong there for a minute there. Hang on, I'll tell you why. She went down.
Tell me.
So Avengers were more tactical, not the other way around.
No,
because of Captain America.
Okay.
Now it depends which. Here it gets a little tricky here. I'm gonna tell you what. You have the A team, the B team, and the C team, and so on, right?
Mm-hmm.
If Justice League B team is more powerful than Avengers A team, But the A team can beat Avengers Justice League's A team. The A team is the originals we know: Captain America, Thor, Hawkeye, and so on.
They can beat the Justice League A team, you saying?
Yes.
No, come on.
Look it up.
Let me look that up. I don't believe that. You telling me with Superman, Batman, Captain America, who was that? Aquaman and all of them? Green Lantern? Yep. Was it Green Lantern?
Green Lantern's in there, yeah.
I'm
sorry, I cannot take him seriously as a character. I'm sorry.
Now, mind you, I just looked at your link, Peter. There was never a 1978. Trust me. Someone put this as a fan thing that they sort of put together. I saw some of the pictures. Some of those characters that they're showing, like Thor, that didn't come out until 1990. And that was basically, it was the return of the Incredible Hulk. They did 3 movies with the Incredible Hulk, ending with the death of the Incredible Hulk. And they brought a Thor character in then. But that was 88 to 1990.
Okay, maybe the year I'm wrong, but you know what I'm talking about, right?
No, like I said, some of the stuff I already talked about. The Exo Man or the Iron Man that was supposed to be there. The Captain America with Red Brown was also there. So again, they were building it, but there was no Thor character in the works. There was no pilot or any show that came out then. The picture of Thor that they're showing here from 1978, I tell you, that is from 1988 or 1990. Whenever that movie came out with Thor was in it, and it was a pretty lousy looking Thor also, I must say. But that being said, someone put a fan work together, but I was there and they didn't have anything even resembling a Marvel movie. But I think they were trying to build it through the serials that they were doing.
Yes, exactly. That's what I was trying to go with this.
The Hulk was the only one that stuck.
Yeah, I may be wrong with the year. I'm completely off, but it was a series that was a really bad, one of the worst movies. Captain America was horrible. They changed Steve Rogers' name. It was like the worst mess ever. And it was not Marvel who did the movies, because back then they didn't make movies. It was somebody else made it. They just contract somebody. Anyway, back to the original subject. Ashim, you were saying now?
I'm just saying Avengers. I think the Avengers, the main Avengers can beat. No. Excuse me. The Justice League, the main can beat the Avengers, the A team. And you were saying no. You were saying no. I don't think the core they can of the Justice League. I don't think that they can lose to the Avengers. No way. I don't think so. No way. I don't think the Avengers could stand a chance with them. Look it up, because I know your brain is going. Look it up.
Paul, what do you think?
But are we? Let me sure I understand the question. So you're comparing teams who would win the core Avengers versus the core Justice League? Is that the question?
Yes.
Yeah, that's where he's going with it.
Now again, hang on, but are you talking the original Avengers or the MC? Are we talking MCUs? Who are we talking about? Remember,
that is a tricky question, because
the original Avengers was Hulk, Captain America, Iron Man,
the
Ant-Man, and Wasp. That was it. So if you wanted to have that team against
Superman,
Batman, Wonder Woman, and Superman and Aquaman, DC wins. Superman beats everybody, I think. So that's it's a wrap.
That's what I think. Come on, the great Pete. Let me hear what you got to say. You're drinking a lot of water over there. Let me see. Come on now.
I'm getting ready to put you in your place, buddy.
I know that. I see you taking a big sip. Let's do it.
Okay. We're gonna stick. Okay, we have to break this down logically for a minute. All right.
Here we go.
So I'm gonna go with the movie version of it for a minute, because those characters, Avengers, I grew up with, then I know the best. That one you're talking about, Paul, is before I wasn't even sperm yet, I think.
There you go.
So that's the A team that I know of. Now the A team, It depends who you pick as your captain. The original series, and I think Paul, you might remember, it was always Captain America. But with the MCU version of it, Iron Man was the captain. So if it was Captain America as a leader, I think they have it in the hand. But now if you add the twist to say, okay, maybe it was Iron Man. Again, it goes back. That's the argument. Which timeline, which universe are we talking about? Because that's the other question. You have all these goddamn universes. Earth 1, Earth 2, Earth 3, Earth 2019-85.
Yeah.
You bring in X-Men, and they just still might have a chance. All right, you can buzz me all you want. They still might have a chance.
Man, you are a suck-up little suffocatch.
I love the
DC
X-Men.
boy hubber.
I love the X-Men. I love some Wolverine, but I just don't think they will be able to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, talk to me.
I don't think they need the X-Men. I think they can kick ass without the X-Men. X-Men is just going to destroy you guys completely, Mr. DC.
I don't know.
You're a DC fanboy. Admit it. I want you to admit it on there right now.
Maybe because you're talking about the time. Maybe it's
okay. Here's the thing. Even DC. Hang on a second. Hang on. Because this whole universe now has gone out of control, in my opinion. First of all, with Earth 1, Earth 10, Universe 16, I think it has gone way out of hand.
Mm-hmm.
What's canon? What's not canon? And that's what annoys me with this whole DC Marvel thing right now. So if you have as a team from Earth 3, it's Paul's what he grew up with, okay?
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Then you have Avengers from Earth 79, what you grew up. Then I have my team, Earth 1, or Earth 101, for example. Okay, that's the team I remember. But which one is the one you know? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That is the argument right now. That's where it bothers me.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. We gonna. I'm gonna have to. Who else is on the line there? Maybe we can.
Right now, just me and you. So.
Oh, okay.
So you tell me your opinion.
Let me see. I'm trying to. I'm. Somebody texting me in, and they going back and forth. They hear it.
Let me ask you a question, Sheen. Do you want me to say the link is in the comments? Tell them camera up, mic up, and come on. And we have this. I don't care.
That's what I'm trying to tell you. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I'm trying to tell them. A lot of noise. There's a lot of families over. Yeah, I know it's a Saturday, but okay. What you was trying to say? What era? Where are we going with? What era?
No.
No, I'm sorry. Because go ahead.
The different Earths, the different time zone, not Earth, time zone, the different universes now. They got Earth 1, Earth 2, and so on.
Mm-hmm. See, I don't know too much about that part of these different. See, that's why I get lost with a lot of these different universes and things. It
is confusing. Even to me, it's confusing. Like, this is where I go to my boy CQ. He knows about the universes better. But with the universes is like you got Universe 1, for example, is the Avengers I grew up. Let's say the 2000 version, okay? The newest one. That's the Avengers I know, for argument's sake, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Now, let's say the Avengers is from the Affinity 1 version. Here. I'll tell you right now, because I can't remember the name of it.
You talking about the original?
They made a cartoon movie in. Oh, where is it? Ultimate Avengers 2006. That's your version. You remember, okay?
Okay.
And when Paul gets back, let's say his version is I don't know, the 70s, for argument's sakes.
No, he's probably the same because the original. Well, let's say the original. Who was that? Captain America, Iron Man. Here we go. Thor. Black Widow, what are you saying? Hercules, Vision, Swordman, Captain Marvel, a lot of them.
See, that's not the original Avengers to me. The original is Captain America, right?
Go ahead.
Iron Man, Hulk, Black Widow, Arrow. What was his name?
Hawkeye.
Hawkeye. Thank you. Those are the 5 I know. But some other people say Iron Man is one of them. Captain America is another one. Wasp is another one. Some people say, Ant-Man's in there too. It depends again, it goes back to which universes you're following.
See, and it's hard because if I say original, who's the original?
That's where my argument statement is right now, is which universe are you following? Universes 1, 2, 3, 4, or 100?
Yeah, that's what we got to get somebody who break it down to say which universe, and then give you like maybe 5 or 6 on each side and put them together and say who would win. Maybe it needs to be broken down like that to say, okay, you got Spider-Man, this one, that. I'm just throwing names. And then on this side, you got this, that. Who would win? And I'm pretty sure, I don't know. I don't care who you throw there. Maybe I think that I still say Justice League. I don't know, but that's just me. That's just me. This is going to be a topic. I think we're going to have to hold on to this topic and keep putting it together each week with any other thing that we're doing, and until we finally
be a part
battle
to
it
this.
out.
I'm not worried. We're coming back to this. We will be coming back to this.
Yes, and I think I'm gonna have to get my crew together and see and put them down of who, and then we can talk it out like that. I'm gonna have to do some homework on that. The originals, the universes, however you trying to throw it out there. I still think they got them. I still think.
Again, it goes back to its universe. I'm sorry to tell you this, Paul.
Yeah, that's. I'm
sorry.
I know what you're saying, so that's why I said we have to write it down.
Okay, let's go back to let's talk about them for a second here. You have different universes. You have Justice League, the '80s version of it, if you remember the cartoon series.
Who was on there?
Oh God, it was.
Oh, I thought you had it up. I'm sorry.
Let me put it out now. Hang on.
Because let me see, Avengers. Yeah, who was on there at that time? And
1970s, I think it came out. Yeah, in the 70s.
You said 19. Let me see.
So it's okay. Captain America. I'm sorry, Superman, Wonder Woman, Batman, Robin, and Aquaman.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the originals on that universe or that series. Yes. So again, it goes back to the same thing. Okay, you have now. If you really want to go head to head on this, let's talk. Then there's another one. It goes again. You can go. We're gonna have the argument all night long. You have the 2001 version of Justice League that has Superman, Batman, Flash, Hawkwoman, Hawkeye. I can't remember her name. Wonder Woman, Green Lantern, and Martian. Again, depends on what universe you're looking at.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to, after this, when this week, during the week and next week, whatever we talk about, we're gonna have to come back to this real quick and maybe chart it down different universes and put them together. And we're gonna debate about it real quick again, no matter what we're talking about, because I'm still gonna go with DC. I don't know. Just because of who's
that's
over
the
there.
argument. I think you're having a hard time understanding the universes part.
Yes, that's what I am. I gotta
imagine this for anybody's out there. Imagine this. Okay, you're in a room with 5 different doors. Okay. Door 1, you have one version of the team. Okay, better version. Scratch that. Think about military, SEAL Team 6, okay? SEAL Team 6 is one team. You have SEAL Team 1, SEAL Team 3, SEAL Team 3, no, SEAL Team 1, 2, 3. You got SEAL Team 4, 5, and 6. They're the same team, but they're different. You see how they're same unit, but different teams?
Yeah.
Same concept, think of it. Almost. Now you got Universe 1, but they're still the Justice League. But they're different universes, so there are different weaknesses in that universe. Same thing as different teams have different weaknesses. You see, he is kind of connected now or no?
Yeah, it can be different weaknesses, and then too, it could be almost like, you could take in and out a different person too. That's where we're going. It could be a different person in there too.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. It's just we have to. This is why I said we got to break down the people in these different universes. Like you can have. I'm just throwing it out there. You can have your first 5 in Universe 1 and your first 5 with Justice League. So now we go to Universe 2 and do the same thing. You can break them down maybe in different sections, and probably we can go about it like that. Maybe that might help. Maybe that might do. And then you can say, well, nah, this universe, yeah, they would win. And then this one, I don't think so. They would win. Maybe you could break it down like that. And maybe we'll have a better understanding. I don't know.
It's hard to break it down like that, I think we're going to need to recruit CQ for this. CQ is the expert in this than I am.
Oh, and
I think he's supposed to be on the show in 2 weeks, actually.
There's probably somebody that can really break it down.
Okay, you know what?
Got some heads out there.
In 2 weeks when he's on, maybe towards the end of the show, I'll let you ask him that question.
Yeah.
Fair enough?
Yeah, I'll try to write it down and make sure we have it in 2 weeks, and then, so we can see what he's saying.
Yeah, I'm going to break down the schedule in 30 minutes. We're almost done for tonight. But it's hard. Let's get back to some of these questions because we've been going back and forth.
Because with this subject here, like you bring it up, DC Mark, you can go on. This can be part 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, because it's so many parts and characters and strengths and powers, and it's so much you could talk about.
And it's funny you just said that. Here's the next question I was going to ask you. This is only question number 3 because I had 10 written out. So, which iconic chapter of Marvel or DC has the biggest culture impact, and how do their original powers perform and value to each other comic books publisher?
Oh, I understand.
That's a hard one.
Yes, it's a hard one, but I understand what you're saying. Who had the most impact? Of it, I'm probably wrong with this one, and I don't know all of them like that, but for the most impact, you have to, I guess it would have to go back to to one of the originals for the impact of it. Maybe like the Hulk, or one of them, Superman, that the impact of comic books and Marvel, and one of them. Am I? What you think? For
so
impact
I'm going to give this a
everybody?
tie. I'm going to give this a tie. I'm going to tell you why in 1 second. Hear me out, okay?
Go ahead.
So I remember I always, if I close my eyes right now and I remember a movie, whatever, right? It's always one scene in every movie that impacted me.
Yeah.
Like Superman. He's catching Lois Lane. He grabs her. He goes, "I got you." Whatever. He goes. She goes, "Who got you?" And she's flying back up.
Yeah, I remember
Batman.
that.
I remember grabbing him like, "You're a freak." Like, no, I'm the Batman. You know what I'm saying? Now, if you ask me the other ones, I remember him fighting in the moon. There's another scene. You know what I'm saying? Captain America. I remember him coming in. A little scrawny little guy, then he's all beat up. You're pouring for, Diplo's action. He goes, nothing happened here. Get to work. He started kicking butt after that. Iron Man. I remember the best scene. I remember he goes, "This is the fun V, not the other V." You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
There are always scenes
Yeah, there's always scenes that
that
have
will
you remember,
define
or you get
today's
that
culture. I don't care
define a
which one
movie.
it is.
Yeah,
So I think that's a tie. I don't think that's a fair question to ask anybody.
yeah, because I think somebody, especially someone who really, really knows and watch the movies like that, they probably can pick a line out of any movie, a Marvel or DC movie, and really say, well, this one defined that. Well, this one defined that. You probably can get somebody to find somebody. Deadpool. He had a lot of lines probably that was crazy, but
Deadpool is a fucking X-rated. I think it's sometimes it's like clink,
yo,
clink, 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 clink.
you know, I didn't even know until they was telling me that Deadpool versus Wolverine, I think,
Yeah, they have
or
that.
Deadpool
So I'll give you a little
is
fun fact
coming
before
out.
we move on. I want a fun fact, right? I was in the '90s. They made a comic book. I'm not sure who made this comic book. I gotta look into it. I'm gonna look it up as I'm talking about it. It's a comic book, literally Marvel versus DC. I'm not even joking with you guys.
Marvel versus DC.
Yep. I'm looking up right now.
Didn't they? So what you getting at? I think they had a comic book like that. I think I got it right.
I have the Greek version. eBay. Here we go. I'm trying to see who made it.
While Marvel and DC heroes are pretty evenly matched in some places, DC would prove too powerful for Marvel's super teams to handle. Beyond the fact that DC heroes are the overall most powerful, you heard what I said? Beyond the
Kiss my
fact
ass, I say.
that DC heroes are overall more powerful, they have many advantages, from magic users to Kryptonians to the Flash family. Marvel can't match DC power. Did you hear what I just said? Marvel
I don't care
can't
what you're
match
saying. I'm telling you,
DC
Marvel's gonna
powers.
kick their asses. You can sit there and turn blue, green, orange, and pink into their face. You might grow hair finally in your life, and you tell me they're better. I'm gonna argue. I cannot wait to get CQ on here. I'm gonna put an extra half hour on the show that day to him to prove you wrong.
I'm just saying, I don't know. Yeah, I would love to hear what he has to say. Like I said, I just go by the characters that I know and what have you. Maybe he can break it down a little bit more heavier and to the T. But I'm just thinking about Marvel and the characters over there and the one DC had and what have you. And when I would start matching them up and looking at who can do what, it's like I just can't. I mean, they're strong, but overall, I just can't see them beating them. Maybe, like I said, he knows a lot more. Somebody else knows a lot more that can put more technical and technicality to it. But I would love to hear it. I would really love to hear it because
Oh wow!
that's what we need.
Listen to this. Okay, so the comic book I was talking about, Marvel vs. DC, that each company would publish 2 issues of the miniseries. The titles differently between issues 1 through 4. DC versus Marvel comic books. DC issued 2 to 3 from Marvel and Marvel versus DC. The minimum miniseries were written by yada yada. Okay, so pretty much is what this means in English. Pretty much for most of us who understand this, Marvel and DC teamed up. I'm very surprised to hear this. They made a miniseries, Marvel versus DC. So issue 1 through 1 through 3, 1 through 2. Therefore, so the first 2 issues of Marvel published them. The other 2 is DC. So they break it out even for them, and the other thing that was kind of cool actually. But back to the original thing. I think this is gonna be a very unfair fight either way we look at it.
Yeah.
But there are other characters. Let's get to the next question. I really want to get through these questions really fast. Oh, I'm gonna. We were just talking about this, so I'm gonna keep my nose out of this one. This is all you now. What is the most memorable?
Memorable.
Thank you. crossover between DC and Marvel comics that collabed or influenced a culture of a
What was the most
superhero
memorable
of a generation?
memorable crossover? That class memorable.
By crossover, I'm talking about into real life, of course.
Yeah, between cartoon into the movies, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Crossover, more memorable. Oh Lord. I think I got one in my head. I'm thinking about so many, not so many, but a crossover. I don't know. Who would a most memorable crossover? Would it be into movies? If it had to, if I don't even know. That's a hard one for me. I would have to sit and think for a minute because I can only go back to the old ones that I know, and they made it to the movie screen and people watched it, like Superman, Batman. They was from comics from that era, and everybody watches them now. Who don't want to see another Batman movie? Am I going in the right direction?
Yes.
For
Okay.
the
So I
crossover
would
from the
say
comics to that?
the Batman, the original Batman, right?
Yeah.
Was, how can I put this? The anime series into the movies was a very good transition. Had the darkness, had the feel to it. If I turn off Batman movie into excuse me, into the anime series, Batman the anime series, the feel is still the same. Or we got a comment in the comments. I like this actually. Ladies, know who plays Batman better? Always the original. That is a debatable. I can tell you why. I had the same conversation with my buddy CQ or a pop culture warrior. So you have the original Batman, great Batman. I'm not gonna argue there. That's one universe. That's Sheen. Okay, that's one. So, sorry about that. So that's one. Now you have the other two Batmans that came here and there. Okay. Chris Bale, I think, is the best Batman personally. There's some Batmans that are great Bruce Waynes. There's some Batmans that are great Batman. Chris Bale, I think, is both. And people argue me. CQ thinks the Batman that played the Batman, the newer one, who played in Twilight, the actor, I can't remember his name right now off my head.
Yeah.
He's the best one in his opinion. So my question to both of you right now, to Mrs., the beautiful Mrs. Lady.
Wait a minute. What about Michael Keaton? I know people said he was a good one.
I'm including him too.
Yeah, okay.
I'm including him. He's a good repeating Batman. He's the only one in the whole series that keeps coming back. Think about it. How many other actors you know that came back?
For Batman?
Yep.
It was only that I can remember Michael Keaton. Did Val Kilmer come back?
No. He got cancer, that's why.
What about Ben Affleck? Ben Affleck came back twice or three times, didn't he?
Okay, so for I'm looking at the list right now. Christian Bale came back for 3 movies.
Okay.
Ben Affleck came out, but he never did a solo Batman movie. First of all, he came back from Batman versus Superman and Justice League. So that's 2 movies right there. You cannot count West because he only did Batman in the early series because but he is a show, so I'm not gonna count him. Okay, Michael Keith came back 3 times, but catch with him, he left and came back. That's why people consider him one of the best ones. Now, Robert Patterson, the Batman, the newer one, did 1 so far.
What about this guy Kevin Conroy? It looked like they say he played him from 1992 to 2024. What is that?
Probably anime series you're talking about.
Oh, that must be. I wonder.
I'm getting to him in a second. Hang on.
Mm-hmm.
So George Clooney did 1. So most of them did 2 or 3. All right.
Kristen Bale did 4.
Where's the first one?
That's what they're saying. Let me see.
There's no way. 4. You got Batman Begins, Batman Dark Knight, Batman Dark Knight Return.
Animated too.
Don't count the anime. I'm talking about movies only right now.
No. I'm saying maybe I didn't read that part. I just saw the 4, so I'm wondering.
Are you talking about Kevin Conroy?
Chris, no, I don't think he did. Kristen Bale.
Yeah, I'm looking at Christian Bale. He only did 3. I'm looking at it
3,
right now. It's
not
3.
4.
I'm telling you, it's 3.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So here's my argument statement now. Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay. So the Kevin guy you're talking about, he's out of the equation because he only did anime series.
All right. Yes,
But
I
he's
see
the
that
longest
now.
anime voice anime one. So I'll give him that. He has a crown for that. Ding ding. Okay. So for movies, you have. I'm taking an equation of Robert because Robert, whatever his fucking name is, he only did 1 movie so far. He's out. Okay. So you only have right now is Kevin, Ben, Christian. So the reason is, I ain't gonna knock out Ben right now. You know why?
Okay.
He had not done a solo Batman movie yet. He only does like the team ups.
Okay.
He's out. So now you're gonna fight between Michael and Chris Bailey. So you cannot fight that fair. Yeah, that's what we're talking about right now. Michael.
But you're saying who played it best or what?
Yes.
To me, and from what I'm understanding with people, I'm gonna say Michael Keaton. Not sure, but I think
Michael Keaton is a good Batman too. It's a tie on this one. It depends which uniform you're looking at. So if you look at Chris Bale's, it's a darker, more serious, more reality series. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But you're fine. Don't worry about it. I know it's a delay from the stream and from you guys, so I totally get it. So, but with Keith, the original Batman, he's coming back. That's where I'm going with this. But he's more a brighter Batman. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't as dark. Except when they brought him back to a Flash, he was a little old, depressed old man. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Now, as a Bruce Wayne, if you had to pick only a Bruce Wayne, which one would you pick?
Bruce Wayne. Oh. Who would I pick?
I already know which one I want to pick.
You do?
Mm-hmm.
Who would I say for Bruce
Between
Wayne?
Chris Bailey and Michael Keith, or whatever his name is.
That's the only one I can say is Michael Keaton, right?
Okay, so I'll give you that because he keeps coming back as Bruce Wayne, and he's really good at it. But here's why I give it the crown to him as Bruce Wayne. You ready for it?
Go ahead.
Batman Beyond.
Hmm.
If they ever decide to pull the goddamn trigger on Batman Beyond, They're saying they're never going to, but money talks always. You know that. I can see him doing a great goddamn fucking Batman.
Yeah.
Now, Chris Bale, all due respect, he's one of the best actors, I think. I'm not saying the greatest actor, one of the best actors who put the cape on. Between him and Keaton.
Michael Keaton?
Yes, thank you, Michael Keith. I think those guys are incredible actors. The cape. Now, as a Batman alone, who would you pick?
Who would I pick? Who
just
better played
Batman.
him?
Forget Bruce Wayne. Bruce Wayne got shot. Boom, he's dead. You only have a Batman now.
Whew. Who Batman? I think it would have to be between, for me, going back to Michael Keaton and Ben Affleck.
Really, Affleck?
Yeah, I thought he played a good one.
I would say he played a good one, but we didn't see enough to have that justice argument with him. I would say it was more between, Michael and Chris Bailey. And I'll pick Chris Bailey any day to be the Batman. Just Batman. Now, if I have picked both, Batman and Bruce Wayne, it's tied between Chris and Michael. Tied. Any day of the week. And I tell you why.
Go ahead.
Wait. I gotta put this comment up. So, I have a comment that says, he did, but Chris over Ben.
Chris over Ben? Okay.
I'd like to know the reason why, lady.
I was just about to say why.
Yeah. So here, I'll give you my reason why those are two tied. They're two different universes. Okay, here
we go with that universe again.
Okay, you have to consider that, dude. You have to consider it. Because Batman won, all right? Okay, let's go back for Flashpoint for a second. Do you know anything about the Flashpoint?
Not really. No.
No. Goddamn old people.
What is it, the Flashpoint?
Okay, hang on. I gotta put this comments. Now I don't think I'm gonna have a fucking cat fight in the comments here. All right. Okay, I got Stacy, who says Michael Keith and Chris are her pick. They're my picks too, and she good girl. And Lee says, "Thank you." So you're outnumbered, buddy. 3 against 1.
I see that.
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay, so here's the thing. Okay, you said you picked Ben Affleck, right?
I thought he was a good Batman.
I never said he was a bad Batman. Did I ever say bad? Did I ever say the words?
No. Yeah. No.
No. Okay. The universes are different. Here, I know you can't understand that. So, close your eyes and remember Batman 1 and Batman Return, right?
Mm-hmm. Okay. Trying.
Okay. So now remember Chris Bale's Batman. More modern and all that stuff. More darker. He has a cell phone. He's driving a Lamborghini down the street. He's zooming out like he's picking up models, all right? 2 different worlds. You get the idea now?
Okay.
Okay.
See, it all depends on, like you said, the universe and how you trying to throw it all out there. I get all, I just look at the movie. I see if it was good. We'll call it there. See, you're getting technical with all this stuff here.
You have to cut this down, dude. You have to you like digestion a goddamn frog. Hey, I don't have a sound effect for that. That's my best I get. Here. So that's how you break it down. Make sense?
Yeah, I see where you're going.
So between those two Batman, we went so far off topic now.
I know
I don't care because I'm actually it's 10 minutes left. I don't care at this point. Okay, here's one. He says he was he was Ben, but like Groomi in a review said, he didn't show more than like the others, and that's my point. He hasn't shown a lot as Batman. he shows a lot of his tech away. He's smart. You see him working out. A couple fighting scenes here and there, but nothing crazy. Think about it.
Then it's between. So then we would say it's between Val Kilmer and the other boy who you said
Chris Bale.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Paul. Who you say best Batman?
I told you I would be back.
Oh, there he is. Hang on, let me pull you back up here. Oh, you just got in the heat of the conversation, man.
Who played the best Batman?
Hang on. Let me put him in here first. Because we can hear him, but nobody else can't hear him right now. So I put him in here.
Oh, we got 10 minutes. Give your best answer.
Okay, so it's between 4. I'm sorry. So here are the options you have. Let me put the page back up. Chris Bale, Ben Affleck, Michael Keaton, whatever, and Robert Peterson, who is the very last Batman.
Yeah, the Batman.
Yes, I have it tied by now, and I have 2 other angry women in the comments agreeing with me.
Yeah, no.
Ding, ding, I got to give it to Bale for the simple fact that he fit, I think, the physicality of the character a bit better than Keaton did. I think the fact they went back and told his origin story. So the difficulty I'm having with the question is, again, a lot of it depends on, again, obviously the director, the creator, the story writers, or whatnot. At what point they want to pick it up. So, I mean, Batman 89 is my favorite Batman movie for a lot of reasons. And I think certainly Keaton in the bat suit, in the cowl, I think does a great job with it. When he's out of the cowl, I just don't buy it. Because
so you don't like him as a Bruce Wayne?
Yeah, I think that, well, just the physicality. I mean, Batman is a beast, right? He's 6'2", 240 pounds. He's mastered like 128 martial arts. I mean, basically in the DC world, he's like the closest thing to Captain America.
You listening
in terms of fighting ability. When I see Keaton, I'm like, where's the physicality? I think that's important. Whereas you had Bale, I think, exhibited a lot of that physicality that makes you believe that he can be Batman because of what he put in. I mean, this guy was in that movie, the Machinist, when he went down to like 120 pounds. Then for Batman, he bulked up to like 240.
Oh, I remember.
He learned all those fighting styles or whatnot. I mean, the guy was Batman's a beast. Now, Affleck, I think they captured a lot of the physicality. I just think that just overall the direction of the Justice League or the DCEU wasn't necessarily the best. I thought they got out the gate relatively strong with Man of Steel. I thought Man of Steel was very good. But I think things degraded a bit after that. Now, I did see, I don't know if you guys saw the Snyder, the extended cut of the Justice League. Did you guys see that when it came out?
No.
Go back and see it now. It's like 4 hours, but it came out during the pandemic. It came out on HBO Max, and it tells a very different story than what we saw when we saw the Justice League in the theaters. Okay, very, very different piece. There was a lot of changes. There was a lot of political stuff. I think there's a change of directors and all kinds of things going on. But if you watch the director's cut of Justice League, I think it'll give you a better appreciation for what they were trying to do in the piece. So I think Affleck had, a lot of the physicality as well, but I think the one who blended most of it together was Bale. I think he nailed a lot of it, and I think they really put the time in to invest in how he became Batman. Whereas 89 and the subsequent movies, the Batman Returns that came after that, I just don't think I could buy, especially after Mr. Mom came out. I don't know if you guys remember that movie, Mr. Mom. when Mr. Mom came out with Michael Keaton, I lost all respect for him.
Oh, yeah.
I lost all respect for him being Batman. I just couldn't buy it. This guy's kicking. He's beating up everybody and whatnot in the flick. You knew there was like another guy in the suit, but I think Bale actually got out there and he actually did it, and it came through in his performance in the film. I think he studied like Krav Maga or something like that for a number of months or whatever, and I think it really paid off. I don't think Keaton put in that kind of work. So if you're gonna try to get me to believe that Batman is the baddest guy on the planet, who's non-super powered, then I think you need to show me a bit more than what Keaton did. But obviously with Jack Nicholson playing Joker, the soundtrack, the Prince's soundtrack, and all of the scenery and how it was shot, that had that gothic kind of style to it. I got to give it to. I think I got to give it to Bale.
With the Batman, I have it between two: Chris Bale and Michael Keaton. I can give you why. And I told Sheen before this. I don't know if you heard this part. I need a Batman that can be Bruce Wayne and Batman. Ben Affleck, I don't think he had enough screen time to show us both sides of that yet. And he doesn't have a solo movie with Batman. So I'm taking him out of the equation. The Robert guy, he's out of the equation because he only has one movie so far. George Clooney, again, he's out of the equation. He only has one movie. All right? And I'm not counting that little scene he had in the end of Flash. Doesn't count.
Right. And then Val Kilmer. I mean, I
don't want to knock him, but I have to. He was supposed to come back to do Robin and Batman, but he got his throat cancer. That's why he couldn't come back. So unfortunately, I have to knock him for not because of cancer. We get that clear and open. It's not because of cancer. It's because I want to clear out of the air. I'm knocking him because he only did one movie. So those are the only two Batmans I would say. Now with Matthew Keith, when he came back to the Flash, he did a great fucking job coming back. I gotta give him credit.
Yeah, he did.
But
well, Keaton, if you noticed after the Mr. Mom movie, he started to play a lot of dark characters. I don't know if you guys remember. If you go back and look at a lot of his movies, he kind of developed an edge. Maybe he was just trying to get away from that image.
I think Mr. Mom did pretty bad, if I'm not mistaken, didn't it?
Yeah. But then he had that movie. What was the movie with the four guys? Guess Who's Talking? Wasn't he in that also with John Travolta and a couple other guys too? So I think he tried to go the comedy route. But if you looked at I think one of the Spider-Man movies, I think he played the Vulture.
He did actually. Yes.
I think in that, and but I think he developed an edge over the years where he just wasn't the clean cut guy. So those type of roles may have made him more edgy. I know in that RoboCop movie he played the bad guy, so he became much more known for that. So I think that gave him an edge that when he comes back to Batman, you can believe a little bit more. But I would still say no to the physicality, because I think, again, if you talk about Batman, if you talk about Captain America, that's why Chris Evans was so good, because he exuded the physicality that the character exhibits. And I think that's important when you're trying to sell. It's like wrestling, right? I mean, if you got a guy in the ring who's like 175 pounds and he's, beating up 200, 300-pound guys or whatever, it loses some credibility when you try to get what they say in wrestling, you try to get a guy over, and you can tell when you're just selling a guy so much, or guys are selling for him to get him over, that it's just not legitimate anymore. So I think guys who really develop the physical, we all know the shape that these guys got in for their roles. It really makes a difference when it comes to what these guys ultimately wind up doing on screen. I think all that work in the gym, all that work with the training and the ballet, anything that you're doing, I think it definitely helps it better sell the product at the end. And I don't think he put that work in.
I don't think he put the work like you said either. I think he was in good shape at the time, but I don't think he was in great shape. Now, Chris Bale, he came in great fucking shape, and he's coming off a movie with almost being bones, so he got jacked fast. And that in
Yeah.
the other movie, the mechanic, he almost killed him. If you remember, same
Exactly. Yeah.
So as an actor, hats off to him.
Yeah, definitely.
But
Definitely.
as my Keith, I can see him coming back as Batman Beyond Bruce Wayne if they ever make it.
Mm.
And that
If
makes
they
sense.
decide to make that, yeah, I can see that. Yeah, if they ever decide to make it, sure.
They're arguing about it. This is never gonna happen. I think money talks. I think they're actually already working on it, and they just keep it very hush hush. And if they do decide to cash him as Bruce Wayne, I think it'd be a great job. Because I think he's gonna fit great in the acting part, hands down. Everybody's asking for, dude. Think about how many movies people are asking, like the 3 Spider-Mans. People saying, we need all 3 Spider-Mans. We need 3 Spider-Man. They get hush, 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 and then all of a sudden, kaboom! It popped, the last minute.
Yeah, that was great. The last Spider-Man film, the MCU Spider-Man film, I love that. I mean, seeing those guys on all together, I thought that was very nicely done. But I think the multiverse period, I think is just overused. But that would have been a nice way to sort of close it out. I thought that was one of the better
agree
ones
with you
when they've used it.
And I'm just trying to explain to Hashim what the multiverse universe is, and he's having a hard time understanding this. But before we get ahead, I want to talk about the Spider-Man thing really fast, and we're going to close the show out. So, we talked about different Batmans. Let's talk about different Spider-Mans for a minute. Who wants to take this first?
You can take it, Paul. Different Spider-Man.
Honestly, I like the new guy, the Tom. What's his last name?
Holland.
Tom Holland. Yeah, he is, to me. He exudes the youthfulness.
Agree.
The wit, and he's actually. I don't know if you guys ever saw his screen test.
No, I didn't.
But he's like an acrobat. Like, he did stuff. I mean, I think he's a martial artist. He took martial arts. He was like going off, jumping off of platforms or going to a wall and doing the flip off the wall and whatnot. I mean, he had a lot of agility that definitely, I think, sold people on his ability to have the role. And I think his just the way he approaches the character as a kid, as trying to figure something out. He's a high school student. I think that came off a lot better than Maguire's or Garfield's. I mean, both of these were older actors. They were like in their late 20s to early 30s when they took the roles on.
They were late 20s, both of them.
Yeah, so I it's hard to relate. It's like, so for me, I'm kind of a stickler for. I know a lot of casting, they always go for who's the best actor. Get the best actor to do the job. But there's again, physicality matters to me. If you want me to really be engrossed in the character, the characterization, even though they're going to do a lot of CGI stuff and whatnot, you have to give me that. So he's a nerdy high school kid who's brilliant, and that he pulled that off better than the other guys. I thought his appearance in Captain America: Civil War, I thought was brilliant. The way the way they set it up, and the fight scene at the airport, I thought was spectacular. So I really think he really got it. I think he embraces the character a lot better than the other 2 guys. I like the other 2 guys. I really like Maguire's role early on, but because he's the one. Because I think, again, he's the one who set, I think, the whole MCU off. If Spider-Man 2002 wasn't successful, I don't think we would be hearing a lot about anything that came after that. But he had to land it, and I thought he landed it at the time as best as possible. Especially that movie came out a year after, because I don't know if you guys remember the original trailer for Spider-Man, where you had the helicopter. He trapped the helicopter.
I do remember that.
The World Trade Center. Right?
And they took it out because after the 9/11 thing.
Correct. And they had to take all that out. So it was like, it was really kind of hit or miss, but he got the ball really rolling for Marvel, even though it was Sony, but still Marvel was involved. He really got those guys going. And so he definitely deserves a lot of credit for that. But I think Holland is the embodiment, the personification of what you would want in a youthful Spider-Man, live action Spider-Man. I think he checks off all the boxes for me.
Okay, so me personally, I'm a little biased here. I'm gonna tell you why in a second. Toby was, yes, I'll give him, he started the ball. I gotta give him credit when it's due, but I didn't really like his Spider-Man because at early 2000 he didn't have a cell phone. He didn't have some major factors like to make me relate. That is a Spider-Man. Thank you. Or I didn't like the whole web student coming out of his arms. Again, I am a little biased here.
Right.
Garfield, I think he kicked ass as Amazing Spider-Man. I like the story. I like how everything went. If you read the newer version, I think it's the Avengers or something like that. The newer version of the Spider-Man comic books is more like the Avenger, like his version of Amazing Spider-Man. He had a cell phone. He's a little geeky kid, but he's still cool in a way.
See, I didn't look at him as cool. I thought the Garfield Spider-Man, I thought he was like an outcast.
That's what I'm going with. Yeah.
He was kind of grunge.
Yes.
You know what I mean? It's different than what I remember in Spider-Man. So it was definitely different. It was a different direction.
But don't forget, the newer version comic books are showing him a little different too now.
Okay.
That we both don't read anymore because we're two old shits. But Tom, he's a great Batman. I want to give him credit. When I close my eyes and imagine a Spider-Man, I don't see him. That's the thing with me. Not gonna take the credit away from him. I gotta give him credit. He's the actor, great Peter Parker, great all-around actor. About it, he did a great job. The only thing I don't like that he actually needs Tony Stark's help to build his suit. Versus the other two, they did the suit by themselves.
Yeah,
that's the only thing I'm coming back.
Yeah, well, again, they changed the origin. See,
because the universe
one
again.
of those, they had a very different origin story. His origin started with a visit from Tony Stark. I mean, it wasn't like he was kind of had a hoodie on and some goggles or something like that. But Spider-Man had a long-standing origin before he even got with the Avengers. So I think but with each one of these films, and I think I made that point a couple years ago. A lot of times when it comes to live action, we get very nitpicky. Whereas in comics, they change origin stories and looks all the time. And we just accept it. Okay, it's just a new series. It's just a new reimagined
it's a reboot
series, and we just take it as such. But when it comes to the movies, we get a lot more canonical with this is how the Spider-Man character is supposed to be. Whereas, in comics, it's not less so. And I've had this conversation with several people, and they can't even give me a straight answer as to why they do it. But it is a reality that they will, when it comes to the live action, it's just in their minds how they envision the character. If that's not met, then they're disappointed with. Like I said, the Garfield Spider-Man, why he had to make the change from his original suit to the Amazing Spider-Man suit is because of the outrage from fans saying is that Spider-Man suit didn't look like a real Spider-Man suit. So they had to go back to a more traditional Spider-Man design.
I like this.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's
and I'm a huge Spider-Man fan.
Right.
Put that out there. Go ahead, Paul. I'm sorry I cut you off. Go ahead.
No. I mean, I'm not saying everybody hated it, but enough for them to make a change. If 50% of people say, "Oh, we hate the Spider-Man suit," then they're going to pay attention to that. So I'm not saying that. And I, personally, I didn't mind
it,
dislike it. But it was, and I like the idea of him actually making how he went about making his web shooters. I thought that was very nicely done.
I agree.
How they, and the fact that it did show how smart he was. I just didn't like him being like the grungy high school kid who and even Flash Thompson in that one wasn't necessarily a bad guy. I mean, he was a jerk, but he wasn't like, he wasn't a bully. Like Flash Thompson was like a bully, but that also goes to the point now. The Flash Thompson with the Tom Holland series is just a geek, a bully nerd. He's a nerd too. It's just that he's but he doesn't have any physicality to which anybody needs to be intimidated by him. But he's just a jerk, and just this kid who's a jerk in the movie. But I think that just some of the some of the the storylines behind him being older, I think that came across. I can't imagine a 28-year-old being a high school kid. I just can't, because 10 years, especially those 10 years. I mean, your face changes. I mean, look at yourself 10 years ago, right? I mean, it's different, and especially if you're going to build a franchise. So again, typically the idea is you make these films. It's a 3-picture deal usually, unless they both bomb dramatically. 3 films, and that can be over a period of 4 to 6 years. So you're gonna have like a 35-year-old Spider-Man. I just it's hard to buy.
No, I get where you're coming from at that point of view. Yes, I will give you that. But if you had to ignore that, which one would you pick?
I still like the Holland.
And that's fair.
And what I like this his first movie. I love the intro where he's basically like on his phone, right? He's like, "Oh, this is cool. I'm with Mr. Stark. Hey, we're going to the airport, and I gotta go because we're about to fight." What's that?
Like doing one of these things, a selfie.
Yeah. I mean, but it's so like today, like what today's kids would do. It's like,
and that's my problem with Toby's Spider-Man. It was nothing back then in 2004, 2005. I think it came out, right?
Mm.
It was nothing what a kid my age at the time would do.
Mm.
Nothing.
Yeah, because I mean, the technology wasn't there. Yeah.
He never had a cell phone. I had a cell phone at the time.
Mm.
It was still a little flip phone, but still, it was like a lot of things I saw.
Yeah, and they weren't taking live action 24-frame video either back then.
Yeah, he
pictures
didn't own a
on
computer.
Those phones was not the greatest. Yeah.
Like nothing. So
yeah,
you tell me this kid's supposed to be smart? Come on. I don't want to take it away from him. He started the series. I can't take that away from him.
And like I said, he's the most important Spider-Man. I would say that he's the most. Like I said, that franchise had to get off the ground, especially the first two. I thought Spider-Man 2 is in my top 5
really
all-time superhero movies. Yes.
Why is that?
It's everything. The storyline, Dr. Octopus, him going through the, losing his powers, trying to get him back. I just thought it was just very well done. As a film, I was very impressed. I thought 3 tried to do too much. You're trying to introduce 3 bad guys in the same films. Again, too much space. Too shallow in terms of defining the characters and whatnot. I thought they were just trying to do too much in one film. But Spider-Man 2, I thought it was like almost like Superman 2. It's one of the few instances where the sequel was maybe not as good as the original, but pretty close. I mean, it really. They definitely upped the ante, which really made me excited for the third one. But unfortunately, it was it went down a little bit, and like the symbiote element they tried to bring in, I thought, like I said, I thought they were doing too much. I mean, that's another one. So you got the symbiote, you got Sandman, you have Green Yacht, the son of the Goblin, and you have Venom. You had
3 villains in one movie.
It's trying to do too much. Trying to do too much. I like it when you have a film that devotes a lot of time to character development, how they become who they became, how did they get to a point where they want to kill Spider-Man, for example. What was going on in their lives that pushed them to be villains in the first place. And I think you just can't do that when you have so many different characters on the
I agree.
screen.
I didn't like the new Goblin, how they did it. I think it was like too craziness in the third Spider-Man. I did like how the costume of the Venom was. I'm not gonna lie to you. I like the costume a lot. But I didn't like the story at all. Any of it. Like back then, I even look back then, I didn't like it that much. Now I watch back, but I hated it completely now. But
yeah,
again, I get credit to he did a great job overall.
right.
But
Just
it is
a
a
side
top
note.
of the hour, Paul.
Yeah,
So,
just a side note
Go
before.
ahead.
Have you ever seen from 19? We talked about the Spider-Man from 1978, the short-lived Amazing Spider-Man series on CBS.
the horrible
Have
show, you
you
mean?
ever seen? What's that?
The horrible show?
Yes, the horrible show. That being said, there was another horrible show that was on around in the same year. There was actually a Japanese version of Spider-Man from 1978. I don't know if you ever saw those. You look at YouTube, go to YouTube. If I
heard
find
of
the
it.
link, I'll send it. Yes, I've seen pretty much all of them. And
Good or
it was
bad?
part, Japan was known for the giant monster, giant robo, Power Rangers type of, stuff
Still
that they
do to this
do.
day.
It was campy as anything, but if you're I think if you're a fan of Spider-Man, it's worth seeing. It's awful, but you should still see it anyway. It's campy as anything. So again, that's the point. That's the point about it. You owe yourself to see it. You may say this is awful, but it's still worth seeing if you're able to find it. If I find some footage, I will I'll forward it to you. But
Okay.
just want to give that as an honorable mention.
All right. So, final closing thoughts. What you got?
Again, Marvel is clearly the dominant force right now. DC, they basically shelved everything. I was actually kind of hopeful when I liked Black Adam. I did.
I like it too.
The scene at the end where Superman shows up and is like, we need to talk. And he also had the fleshed out suit. You remember Man of Steel, like all the colors were kind of muted. He came out in the full Superman suit. Not only that, he had the curl back.
The hairstyle.
The curl. They brought the. So I think, okay, Black Adam, Dwayne Johnson, The Rock is going to be in future DC movies. Man of Steel, Superman is going to be there. Okay, they're resetting the ship, and they're going to do some things a bit different. This is also after like I said, also make sure you go back and watch the extended cut of the Justice League. If you haven't seen that, again, it's 4 hours and it's in many acts. It's a different film. It's a different, the main character is different. I'll just give you that, but that's definitely worth seeing. But I thought, okay, they're going to reboot. And then soon as that came out, like a couple days later, they say, okay, we're shelving everything. We're firing, Superman, Cavill, and everybody, and they're just going to do a do-over. So DC is in the toilet right now, kind of, and they're going to have to, because even the latest Flash movie, from what I understand, didn't do very well.
No, it did horrible. I thought it was a great movie
at
overall.
The box. Right. So they've got to work some things out in terms of how they want to, reboot this franchise. I don't think Gal Gadot is coming back as Wonder Woman, so they're going to have to just totally scrap it. But DC is in similar straits. I know Madam Web came out. I mean, me and my friends, we saw the trailers. Like, we don't, we had no desire to see that. So I don't know where Disney and Marvel are going as far as what their future offerings. I think they had a great run with the MCU overall. They had basically a 15-year plan, or close to 15-year plan of what they wanted to do. They had yes, you said the individual, define individual characters, you bring them together, you have a series, and it has a conclusion. But all the offerings since Endgame, I really haven't been a fan of any of the Marvel movies connected to the MCU. What's that? The Eternals.
Eternals is a horrible movie. So, from my understanding,
so I don't know where they go from here. I think both of them are in trouble, or unless they just want to give it some time, shelve everything for now, let some time pass, and if you want to do a reboot. But for the most part, they had a great formula. It worked. I just think they're running out of ideas. I think the multiverse is an example of that. They ran out of ideas, and they're putting these offerings up that are just going to crap at the box office. Black Panther might be their only saving grace going forward, what they want to do with that. But again, unless they find a new T'Challa or something to bring it back, I just don't think women can carry. No offense to women. I thought the Black Panther 2 was very, female centric. I don't know if that's going to carry the day going forward. So I really think they're at a creative impasse right now in terms of what to do going forward.
So here's where I'm going to agree a little bit and disagree. So I agree with what you're saying about the movies that are being a little shitty lately. But they're also, the next couple movies are going to be, keep your eye on them. Because they're kind of like changing gears again. Because the person who's running Disney was trying to say, we spent so much money, push. Same thing with Star Wars. So that's why they finally slammed the brakes on Star Wars. That's why you're not seeing a lot of things coming out. The next big thing is going to start the next phase, and that's what you should be looking at, is Secret Wars. That's all I'm going to say. Keep your eye on Secret Wars. And you're going to see, my attention is back on Marvel. You're going to see that.
Right.
If they do it right. Now, with the Black Panther thing, I got to come slack there because they fell in a really bad spot. They didn't expect him to die, obviously. And he has the same cancer my mom has. And he was more serious. He had stage 4. Once you get stage 4, you're counting your days pretty much.
Right.
My mom has stage 3, so she still has a fighting chance.
Right.
So she has a lot. It's weird how that cancer is. It blooms like a flower. It takes a long time to get there. But say you have stage 3, and all cancer this part is always similar. Like say A1, for example, that's like the beginning of 3, very low, but more 2, if that makes sense.
Right.
So he was in the end when they caught it, he had literally no fighting chance. The poor guy.
Yeah.
And he was an incredible actor. We lost one of the best, I think. Definitely for the MCU.
Right.
But I said that, I think we have a lot to see. Black Panther, I'm question mark on that to me right now. Are they going to continue with it, or are they going to, scrap it?
Unless they, speed it up, because I know obviously he's got a son at the end and whatnot. Are they going to go ahead 20 years or
that is going to destroy everything then?
So yeah, I don't know. But they're in a quandary. But I think it does come a point where a creative process comes to an end. I mean, James Bond, had 30-something books, and they made most of them into movies. I don't know where they go with Bond. They killed Bond off. So are they going to do a reboot of Bond at some point? I don't know. But there's only so much you can keep, churning and squeezing. How much juice can you get out of the orange before you need to rest before you consider coming back with something else? But look, 15 years, billions of dollars in earnings and whatnot. Again, you got as much out of it. And for fans, there's whole libraries of stuff they're coming out with, and different series that are coming on with the streaming channel. So, they may have to think long and hard before, okay, do we want to have a $200 million budget film, and do we want to come out with this? Do we want to come out this again, or just go in somewhere direction? Other cats, Silver Surfer, or some other fan, some other team or some other groups that, there's so much in the MCU that we haven't even explored yet. Can
they're bringing them in slowly, by one. I know that for a fact.
Yeah, but having a real Fantastic Four with Silver Surfer and Galactus, like the real Galactus, not some cloud-based Galactus or whatever. Cool. Try to do something. Try to really, look at. There's so many titles that are still on the shelf that haven't, been greenlit for a series yet, that that you could possibly do some things with. So I would like to see if they can go there. I'm actually looking forward. One Marvel I am looking forward to is that Craven movie.
Really,
I think that's been pushed back. What's that?
You're really looking forward to it. A lot of people are not.
I'm curious. I'm just curious what they can do with it, because especially if you're talking about another Spider-Man movie. I mean, Craven back in the day, Craven and Spider-Man, they were kind of arch. If they can establish this guy, if he can pull it off, and maybe in a sequel, if it does well, you bring Spider-Man into it. That's something that might work. I'm curious what they can do with it, but I'm just saying. But it's an old school character that has that could potentially have some legs. What the crazy thing about it is the same actor he's been in so many Marvel pictures already, and just things that he's done already. It's like, can he pull it off? But from what I saw, I it looked interesting to me, and I would definitely be willing to check it out when it comes out. So, but just last thing, just a quick plug.
Go for it.
I saw the Bob Marley movie today, One Love. I thought it was pretty good. It was very well acted, and so if that's something that you may have an interest in, I thought it was a good, pretty good bioflick, and definitely worth seeing.
So, in closing, who do you think is better? Too soon to tell. We need to do a part 2 on this very soon. But the schedule for the next couple weeks, I have planned it out for a while, actually. So on Wednesday, we are talking about education. The show is moved from 8:30 to 9 o'clock because all my guys are complaining. They're too early. But we moved to 9 o'clock because a lot of guys are jumping from one panel to my panel. So I want to give them a fair time to jump on, give them a little break, maybe a little pee-pee break because, the bladder's small. Now, next week on Saturday, we are talking about bodybuilding versus CrossFit. I have a few guys coming on. So this is going to be a very interesting conversation.
Okay.
So I have Nick coming back on. Hopefully, I'm going to speak to him about it. I got another guy of mine. Carlos is coming back on. He's coming back from his honeymoon. So I can't believe that guy got married. I think he was fucking with him.
He reached out to me, and because I was like, wow.
I was fucking with you. You saw what I said on Facebook, right?
Yeah, I said Pixar didn't happen. So, but he did reach out to me, and congratulations to Mandrell on his marriage, and just praying those guys have much success with that. But yeah, this came up very quickly. I'll leave it to him to explain in his own time, how things came together.
His journey.
Yes, but I'm very, very happy for him because he's been wanting this for a long time, and I'm just glad that he's finally getting the desires of his heart. So salute to him and his new bride.
Yeah, I
got their journey that they start together.
Yeah.
Yes.
So the 28th, I still have open. I'm not sure what we're gonna be talking about. Paul, have any ideas yet?
The 28th, we'll talk certainly between now and then, but really wanted to ask about tomorrow. Are we meeting tomorrow for the gray area?
Yeah, I want to see why not.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
I was gonna plug that in a minute. I was getting there.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
But now we'll talk as far as show for the 28th. We'll chat in the meantime.
Yep. And on the 2nd, I have 2 rivals coming on. Again, I got King and Smith and CQ going at it once again on here, one-on-one. Is Netflix going to be around? Or other streaming service better? They've been arguing for weeks about this. Months. So I'm going to let them go head-to-head. I'm going to pick one more person to be a judge. It'll be 2 judges. Let's see who won. Who's going to be? Paul, do you want to do that one, or do you want to take a bite on that? It's no pressure again, of course. You can take the day off if you need it.
Yeah, reach back out to me on that one. I'll let you know. You just sleep on it a little bit.
So, and on a side note, on Sunday, we're back tomorrow with our gray area. What are we talking about tomorrow? Do you know? Because I lost track.
Back on the schedule. Let's see here.
Because we're not doing. I know originally we were supposed to be religion, but we have to move things around because of Father Costantino.
And the last one was our call-in show where we also talked about that was a nice impromptu talking about dogs and pets, and shout out to Trey for coming on and giving his insights. Certainly working with K9, that's pretty wicked.
That's pretty cool, I thought.
Yes, definitely. Okay, so hang on, I thought I had it. Hang on. Here we go. So we can do either back to the country. So I don't know by that if you mean back to America or going back home after being in America for a while, because the next show after that was Americanizing, or
Let's
so
go
that
with like back to the
experience.
country. That is kind of okay. So for you guys, tomorrow will be back to the country, meaning it goes both ways, meaning going to Greece and coming back to the States. What is the difference? Come in tomorrow at 9:30. Find out. What's the worst case scenario? You might learn something. That's the worst case scenario. So,
Well, you'll be driving that one because I haven't been anywhere. So I'll be probing you in terms of what that experience is
oh
been
yeah,
like.
I'll pick my brain, bro. Pick my brain, please do.
Absolutely.
This is
All right, we'll
education
do.
for everybody, even for you and for me, actually.
That's right.
Yeah.
Right. It's all about, again, it's about cultural exchange. It's about
Exactly.
mutual understanding and again finding that commonality where we can find it. But it's really an exploration of our humanity and how we've been able to adapt, especially in your case for these next coming topics, how you've been able to adapt to two different worlds at different times, and so I'd be very interested in your perspective on what that process has been like for you. I think some of that we talked about with schools and whatnot and what that's been like, but really because I've seen this with a lot of people who had a more global experience, like their outcome or perspective on things is oftentimes a lot different. So we can definitely touch on that.
And for everybody who's watching, you guys can go back on my channel or BMU channel, and everything's there. If you want to catch up on some episodes, I encourage it. Please come in tomorrow. Say hi. Just say what's up. You don't have to say the whole thing. So you want to say 10 minutes? Just stop by and just shit with us. That's the best way I can put it. On the 25th, on that Sunday, is the one I'm very excited for, and be my pleasure to introduce to the world. He's very nervous. To Father Cosadinos, my priest.
Why would he be nervous unless you have something to do with it?
I actually didn't do anything this time. I'm innocent for once.
I'd be nervous too going on your show for the first time. So,
see, if it was my show, I'd be nervous myself, but because mine's more edgier. But BMG, our show on the gray area, it's pretty chill, I think.
Yeah, very much. And I really look forward to having more shows where we have more people on, more guests.
Yeah.
Again, we said we don't want to embarrass anybody. We don't want to. We want people to feel good coming in, having a conversation with us, leaving with the idea say, hey, that was great. Let's do this again. That's really my. If we develop that kind of rapport with someone, then we know we're doing the right thing. We know we're staying on the right path. So we this is a friendly environment. Not a hostile one. But we're just looking to learn, and we're just looking to educate and enlighten people that the world is smaller than you think it is. All our tribal differences and ethnic differences and all the crap that's going on in the world today. At the end of the day, we're all human beings. We're all under the one family here. So let's bridge the gaps so that we can have more understanding and more respect for one another.
Yeah, that's what it is. The point of this is, like Paul always says it, like, this is my baby. Yes, it was my idea, but without him, I cannot do this. So if there's anybody watching this that wants to come on, throw us an email. We'd love to have you on.
Indeed.
If you have something to say,
especially if you come from a totally different world and perspective, we like to we definitely like to have a conversation with you.
Yeah, anybody's welcome. So, except that, guys, as always, stay fresh, stay safe, and I'll see you guys next time.
Take care, guys. See you tomorrow night. Take care.